Waves and tides, breaking on beaches of strife. It's the way I know I should not be. Watching love destroy everything. Perhaps I should go now to sleep and see. Like a thousand times, I have lied in the walk of mine. Waves and tides, breaking on beaches of strife. A thousand times I have lied in the rock of mine. Waves and
Wow, look how much I weighed right there when my liver first decided to go kaput. I've lost 60
when
pounds.
was that? When was that? That was like
that was right after you guys want to listen to some Turnstile? That was right after Solar Returns, the very next Flattoberfest after Solar Returns, so like 4 years
is that
ago.
when it was?
Yeah. But dude, I lost 60 pounds since that photo. Like that's how, man, when I was, the fact that everyone, I think including Nate, is Nate in your shot, by the way, for the rest of this interview? Can he hear me? Either way,
he's out doing something.
People like Nate and Dr. Law and everybody was like, dude, Rico, we'll buy you a ticket. I'm like, I don't think you understand. I can't fly. I can barely walk. Miracles and a good Jamaican doctor that is more in the holistic instead of big pharma has changed a lot for me. I got to see. All right, man. Dude, I'm glad you guys have at least temporary roots, set down some roots, Lowry and Nico.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a ride, hell of a summer. Just got back. We're finally on stable ground. We covered something like 12,000 miles. It's 10,000, depending on which part of the trip you're talking. 11,000. We wanted to get out and see as many people as we could in the 2-month period window that we had. It was mostly a bunch of people in our community throughout the East Coast, some family as far west as out at Fatheads, and a lot of people that we weren't going to be able to make time to do, as we move forward here. But like, we slept all day yesterday and most of the day today, just decompressing from all that. And shout out to Nathan. We're back at Nathan's place in the studio, and we're going to be here on the East Coast now, basically in this region for good. So we're working up. Part 2 of 3 of the plan is complete, and now we just we work towards OBX and that sort of thing. So I can't believe we actually managed to keep a show running through all of that over those 3 months in between various satellite locations and using different gear. And I was just like, well, we'll try it this way this time.
But
Yeah,
everyone stepped up to try our best to help. Me and Andrew especially.
Indeed.
By the way, whenever they first got to Nate's garage, that's where I stayed 2 days after the hurricane. They were like, we could see little hints that you were here for a couple of days dwelling.
Yeah, you left a pack of cigarettes. We found that.
Real quick, Josh, Iron Rail Media is coming up backwards. It's mirrored.
Oh, yeah, it is. We're going to get into them.
Yeah.
You know what? This before I get
just flip your screen.
Sorry, I didn't realize you guys mirrored it.
Oh, did we?
It's good on me. Yeah, I think you guys have it mirrored, but I can flip mine. Don't worry
Well,
about
why
it.
is it mine mirrored?
Are you sure it's
An
not?
option.
Are you
Go
sure?
down to
I'm not
settings.
sure.
Your camera's not mirrored if you look at your camera.
That's true. Can you guys read that?
Yeah, that one reads fine. We know what it is though. I don't care if it's backwards. I think it's
I
rad.
got you. Don't worry about it. My fault.
Before we talk about the solo thing, that makes me. We were talking about the cult that has started around. We were talking about this backstage before we went live. The cult that started behind Jaren's chat and the backstabbing, and me getting a couple messages and a call from someone that was like, "Hey, if I'm back to the globe, does that mean we can still be friends?" And I'm like, "Hey, that was never a prerequisite to be friends. I'm not. Most of my good friends aren't there. They don't care enough about it to look at it. Like I mean, that's how we met, but that's it. That's the end of it. Like, but these people are like, I got one comment in Jaren's chat. I meant not to use his name, but one comment was like, I can't believe how polite you're being you're a flirter. I'm like, why wouldn't I be? Like, I just don't get people, man. And if what I was told happened, was he not given the option just to go silent? Like, was him continually, because he believes the Katy Perry thing, the moon landing, like, and this is the guy that's been preaching from the rooftops very well for a decade now. Like, my mind is blown. Like,
He went full trifecta. We knew that the moon landing thing was coming, and now that happened. So it's like, now we just sit back and watch the shit show unfold.
well,
Yeah,
That's
he
about
drinks
as much
Kool-Aid.
as I'm going to say on it.
He definitely drank the Kool-Aid. And so that actually has something to do with some of the questions that I have for.
hold on, we're not there yet. We're not there.
Nope.
Nope, I gave you the outline. But I can segue from the Katy Perry and Jaren believe in that. Andrew volunteered. You know how he dared me to get the Don Pettit tattoo to get Katy Perry in
Still can't believe you actually fucking did that.
a real girly astronaut uniform to match my Don Pettit. But no, one more thing. This was Andrew's idea, but I've been developing the crap out of it. And mine, I need one more confirmation, and mine's in the can. It'll probably be in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. But we're all doing what's going to be called solo sombreros. and they're not going to be as frequent. It's not going to be like an every week thing. Like I'm thinking about maybe doing once a month, once every other month. And other than Solo Sombrero, they're all going to have like our own names. Mine's the Hurricane Rico Files Volume 1. Nico, are you going with that, or do you just like what I came up with for you?
No, it's good.
So Karen's is Solo Sombreros, Nico's Nightshade. And Andrew, the one I sent you, I like where I was going with it, but I gotta find another A word. But either way, we're gonna be doing that on this channel, and the Reckoner, and my channel. There's a fourth channel up there. Whose is that? Either way, read about it on either our Instagram, follow us on YouTube, but there's some details to hammer out. But the first show, actually, this works really well because Walt is going to be on the panel of 4. It's going to the panel of 4 is Walt, Alex,
Yep.
and Crumb, and then we're going to rotate some people after first break and blah blah blah. And it's going to be about more of a Mark Devlin thing about how our heroes that we thought were, punk rock and free thinking were the most sold out people you could have ever known. Boston's going to be there. Ray. But either way, that's something new. And now, Andrew, you almost had it.
Cool. I do have some questions. Yeah, also in regards to Iron Realm Media. And even though I know that a lot of us have been on there quite a few times, including myself, I try to make it a little more unique every single time. And
first of all, thanks Josh and Walt for coming from Iron Realm Media. We didn't even do that. Thank you guys for coming on the show.
Thanks for having
no
us.
problem. Glad to be here, and thank you guys for asking.
Well, we had to threaten one of them and bribe the other one. So
that's
he's not going to tell you which is which.
A lot of people don't know this about Iron Realm Media, but they have Ironworks, which is Central Time. It's 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And starting my mornings like that, man, I love those. Were my favorite 3 days of the work week because I got to hang out and chat with them, and then we had our little post backstage thing, and that's been a big part of my life for 3 years now. And I'm approaching my 11-year Flat Earth anniversary. I can remember the first time I went on your nighttime show, your Friday night show, was my 7-year anniversary. So, man, time flies. But you guys have 2 great shows, and I say this often. I don't know if you've caught me say it on this show, but a lot of the stuff that I do is just ripping you guys off.
All right. Before I get to my question for our special guests, awesome buddies of ours, I'm just going to say this is very weird. Okay. Just a fact of the day, because I'm a trivia nerd. On this day in history, in 2007, that's when the iPhone was released to the public. But it was not the first smartphone. The first smartphone was released by IBM in 1994. And it was an LCD touchscreen display. So it's kind of just a little fact of the day for the moment. And also, my next question is, I would like, I don't know if I've actually ever asked you guys this question before. Like, what inspired you to start Iron Realm Media, and like, how did it first start? What was it, as rough as we were when we first started, or?
Well, you were here last week on our show, weren't you, Andrew?
Right. I don't know.
You guys said you're come on all the time. You know how rough it still is.
How rough it is. That's the point. It's
I think
rough and ragged.
To answer it chronologically, I think Walter would be best to start that one off because he was there from the beginning, whereas I was a tag along.
Tag along. That's you for sure. No, guys, just like a lot of you, I had Flat Earth rammed my way by the YouTube algorithm. Wasn't looking into it, wasn't seeking it, had no clue that was even a thing anymore. In fact, for the first 2 weeks that it was in my suggested, that's what I kept saying. Really? There's still people who think, because, just like all of us, I heard the same crap we all heard in school about those crazy flat earthers and how they're not around anymore because we proved that with Napoleon. And I mean, not Napoleon. What was his name? That dude. Columbus. That's the guy. I'm also a history buff.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, but yeah, so, watched one, went, oh, wait, those are questions I had in high school. Watched another one, went, oh, wait, what? There was one? What happened? And then by my third video, I was just like, okay, I just can't be right. I have to find people to talk to about this. And not only that, I need to figure it out for myself. I can't just trust, some guy on YouTube that might be as nuts as I am. I got to see it with my own eyes. So I went out, did a few videos out on the coastline, did the measurements, used the math I was given, accurate or not, that's the math I was given for the curve, and it wasn't working out. So I started looking for people I could talk to because I tried to talk to my wife, and she thought I was nuts, and tried to talk to my brother, and he was concerned about my mental health. And so I began to realize that, like Mark told us all, you don't talk about Flat Club. And after losing, the third or fourth friend, I believe I began to understand I'm going to have to go to find some people to talk to about this. Or number one, I'm going to lose my mind with trying to contain all this. It has to be verbalized. And number two, there's got to be more to it than what I'm seeing on YouTube. So not being a Facebooker and not really knowing much about social media because, I am old. I found Twitter. It seemed to have some reasonable conspiracy people that I already respected doing things on there, Art Bell and etc. So I went there and started looking for people who were talking flat earth, and in a very short period got together with a group of just amazingly intelligent, bright, researching, questioning people from literally all across the plane, like everywhere. You name a country, and I was talking to people on Twitter about it. And so I have a history of radio. I did a few different radio stations during my teenage and 20s and early 30s. And so I thought, well, maybe this group of people that are talking about it all the time anyway on these chats, and we got together on Hangouts and would talk to each other visually. And it's like, well, we could do this and put it on YouTube, and maybe other people would go, oh, wait, maybe there's some questions I don't have the answers to. And it was, the original core group was very amorphous. It changed before we ever went on the air quite a few times. We sussed out literal plants who were literally there to break us up early on. Like they had credits we found with people in other countries that were neuralistic programmers and just crazy stuff. And it's kind of one thing to see that maybe the government's listening in and sending people online to mess with people who are looking outside the norm, but to actually find out that not only are they real, but they're in amongst your group, it's kind of nuts. But anyway.
At least the algorithms are for sure.
Right. But in the questing, go ahead.
You mentioned the government as a priority of concern, which is completely natural, I think. Because, ever since the Patriot Act, everyone's probably concerned about that, but.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I was already, well down many rabbit holes, broke a few ankles in a few different rabbit holes here and there over the years just because I dug so deep. Because, again, anything you pick it, I probably looked into it one way or the other. And, but anyway, in Twitter life, people would, put stuff up. And so there was, the station eludes me now, a station on the radio there in Missouri, in St. Louis. What's the station, Josh?
That was 97.1. It was an FM talk radio. In the afternoons, it was the most popular drive time, which is a pretty good as far as radio is concerned, time slot in St. Louis. And it was on an FM. It's like a conservative talk, FM talk radio station. And I've been listening for years. One of the favorite segments was on Tuesdays. They had this doctor come in and they do a Paranormal Tuesday segment. And this doctor would come in and just start talking about all things paranormal, and it was always interesting. But
Was it like a George Norrie kind of thing?
similar, but it was just figure like maybe 14 or 15-minute segment on the radio. Not like a radio show that was about the paranormal, but it was. So the Dave Glover Show was the name of the show. And Dave and his producer and co-hosts were real laid back. They weren't like staunch conservatives. In and amongst the conservative talk radio programming of the station, that 4 o'clock drive time segment was the Dave Glover Show. And he wasn't super political. He was more kind of common sense based and wasn't really buying into either one. And just the whole sort of neutral stance I'd always appreciated. But I had heard about Flat Earth, digging into the freedom of from the law and all the legalese and that kind of rabbit hole. And one of the guys that I had been following and listening to had basically blown up one of his podcasts by asking his guests for proof that their legal system, their theory on how to escape the matrix system through a particular legal means, whether it's trust or using your legal name or losing the name completely, all the different theories, he was just asking them for the proof that any of this stuff actually worked, right? You talk a big game and you can use the legal jargon, but are you using this in the courtroom? Are prosecutors and judges just falling before you everywhere you go because the words you speak are so powerful? Or is this just all kind of nonsense? And guests stopped coming on and his co-hosts got pissy. But I was still following him on Facebook, and he had posted a similar question about the shape of the earth, just asking for proof. I thought, well, that can't be right. Like I know he's kind of maybe gone off the deep end a little bit, chasing the legal dragon, but really the shape of the earth? I thought, all right, I'll give it a shot. So I looked into it, and the same old story blew my mind. Had that same physical reaction, the feeling of shame and dirtiness.
Hey, remind me again, what year was that? Roughly?
This would have been November of 2014.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The guy's name was Jack McKaig. I remember specifically. I'm still friends with him on Facebook. He's got a channel on YouTube called Liberty Aid. If you're interested in trusts and gaining some financial freedom, check out Liberty Aid on YouTube. He's got some pretty interesting theories and concepts. But yeah, that was November 2014. And then it was probably spring, I guess, of 2015. I'm driving, picking my son up from my ex-wife's house, his mother's house. And I'm sitting out in front of her house waiting for my son to come out. And I'm listening to Dave Glover Show because that's what I did. I enjoyed the show. And sure enough, he starts talking about this feud that he saw going on between Neil deGrasse Tyson and this rapper, B.O.B., all over the shape of the earth. So I could hear them getting ready to talk about flat earth. So I thought, oh shit, this is my chance. Like, I'm not one to call into radio stations. Like, there's a small segment of the population that calls into radio stations, and I'm just not in that segment. But they're going to start talking about flat earth, and they're going to laugh at it just like I did, but then they're going to stop. And they're not going to look into it any further, and they're just going to keep laughing. And I think this deserves more attention than just being laughed at. Well, shit, I guess I've got to call in. And that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to call and talk to the producer or the phone screener, whoever it was that was on the phone, to just tell them, don't just laugh it off, that they need to look more into it. That's all I wanted to say. He put me on the air with the co-hosts live to tell them, don't laugh it off. It requires a little bit more insight. But they wanted a bit more about the flat earth. So I tried to give them a really brief primer. At this point, I'd have to go back to even listen to what I said because I was on for a little bit. But they were so sort of taken aback by the idea that they couldn't just laugh it off, that I did have answers to some of their questions and made them question things they had never thought of before. So I thought, well, why don't you just come back in a little bit on a Paranormal Tuesday and you'll come in and talk about flat Earth. So I thought, well, how often does that happen in 2015 that you get to go on a Fox syndicated radio show and talk about flat Earth? So I went in there and talked about flat Earth, and again, they were amazed and intrigued and had me back on again. Well, and by this time, the doctor that was doing Paranormal Tuesdays was wanting money for his appearances and was being a bit of a diva, so they'd stopped kind of doing Paranormal Tuesdays altogether. It was just normal programming. But once I came on and started talking about flat Earth, they were considering bringing Paranormal Tuesday back. And so we started sharing some time with people local to St. Louis, mediums and paranormal ghost hunters and things like that. And pretty soon they just asked me to start coming on Tuesdays and doing Paranormal Tuesdays for them. And I just come on and talk about some of the more updated conspiracies. This wasn't like the newest sighting of Bigfoot, but I was sort of bringing to them the Mandela effect and some of the Hattie Bob stuff that Krewe had talked about early on, and the Russian scientists finding the giant spiders that had populated Earth early
And
on.
how many millions of dollars have you made from this adventure?
I would say it costs me probably about a couple $1,000s a year. If I had to guess.
So you're in the
I had to
negative.
guess I go in the hole about a couple $1,000s a year every year.
Easily.
All right,
but,
just a little
Which
brevity.
just verifies that this thing is a labor of love for everyone. Most everyone who's doing this, but for surely the guys there and that sweet lady you see in the middle at Iron Realm.
Yeah, Kami just texted me this. This is all for of them. So the first half, we've done 2 of these now. So this is the 4th total, but the first half was the Zach and Kami, the middle 2, and you see the 2 guests now. And everyone got to meet all 4 of them for the first time at Flattoberfest post hurricane. But she just sent me that. What a wonderful photo. Whose house is that at?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's at
That's
Cammy and
Jimmy's.
Bob's house, man. Yeah, that was a very amazing space to be inside. The energy in that house is phenomenal, filled with love. People come and visit and bring more love in. There's animals there that share the love. It's set up on a beautiful little piece of land that has access down to a river whose name eludes me at the moment. It's beautiful. Beautiful place. I want to go back. In fact, our friend Liz just visited again. She was there when Josh and I were there. And she's come all the way from Scotland twice now to visit that amazing abode. So thank you, Kami. And the Kami and Zach part of the story is definitely a huge, huge, huge part. It's just a bit further down the road.
Yeah,
All this with Josh at the radio station was kind of happening concurrently with us backstage, or not backstage, but just doing hangouts and DMs with people trying to figure out, okay, well, who wants to help do a show and who knows a little bit about production? Because we did. I mean, I know how to sit in front of a mic and talk. All the production was done before I would get to the radio station. I just was the voice and throw the right records on. So I was clueless about streaming or how things worked or even how to get a real mic. I did our first probably 50 shows from a bad tablet that I was using to do all my videos with. And Josh is at that point made his call, posted it on Twitter. The group I'm hanging out with, which consisted of like Adam and John and Zane. But I'm sorry, I've got my cat here on the keyboard messing stuff up. You got to get down, buddy. But John Savage and Adam and James, the Full Armor OG. And we were all excited. And we had other people, Rob down in Australia. And we were all getting excited, but nobody really wanted to be on camera or really talk to people, even though I had experience doing radio. I definitely had the face made for radio, so I wasn't really excited about being on camera. And here's a new guy showing up and not just nailing it, but nailing it so good over there at the Fox affiliate. He got invited to be their Paranormal Tuesday guy, and he brought like crazy topics. Too crazy, it turned out.
Yeah. So
You want to tell them?
Well, so that was how I met Walter, was because I wasn't really into social media beyond Facebook, but to interact with the callers and some of the other listeners at the radio station, I thought I'd just sign up for Twitter so that I could interact and try to spread the message to share it on Twitter. And that's when Walt reached out to me. So that would have been 2015 in the summer, probably. That
Yeah,
was the
heading
first
into
time.
summer. Yeah.
First time I ever interacted with Walt. And that picture that you guys saw just a moment ago, that was first time I ever actually met Walter. So we were on here doing podcasts, doing shows, talking flat earth and conspiracies and all kinds of the craziness that goes on in the world for the last decade before we actually got to hug and meet in person. So I just
I've met Zach and Cammy at Flattoberfest in Vegas, but I've never met you guys, so I'm still skeptical if you guys are AI.
We are definitely AI. We're the best version out there right now. That's how we do all the flubs so naturally, and the bad audio and the cats. The cats are not real. They're all AI as well.
Well, I'm actually very glad I asked that question, because originally I thought Josh started Iron Realm Media, and I wasn't aware it was the other way around. But
Josh now carries the brunt of the weight for Iron Realm Media. He does. He gets up super early. He's our production like rock foundation. If he falls down, as you see, I stagger and stumble over to my channel and try to get something up for a few minutes while we're trying to get through to 6 a.m. But yeah, Josh has become the cornerstone, the rock upon which all of us at Iron Realm rely on production wise, getting it up. His studio is where it all originates from. We just kind of hop on the call and
well, it's kind of like the Wizard of Oz. There's Dorothy,
Right.
and she's got the Scarecrow, and she's got the Tin Man, and she's got Toto, and they're ready to step off down the yellow brick road. And Dorothy steps forward, and she's hopping on down and realize that everybody else is just a few steps back looking at her. Like, oh, okay, we're following you, I
Hey,
guess.
by the way, I pulled up.
What the
Hold-
fuck?
hold
I'm
on.
not the leader here.
Hold on a second. Where did that go? Hold on, I'll pull it back up. Liz was staying with Zach and Kami. Hold on, what happened? Still new at this, guys. So you can see Liz right here, just behind Lowry. But what I noticed whenever Alex posted this earlier, this is from the Tinfoil Sombrero Instagram, but you wouldn't know that Karen was having the most like stressful weekend festival as a
Right.
promoter you could ever possibly have.
Look at that smile.
And she's glowing happy right there. I'm just like
No, I gotta no, this was
This was at a rodeo.
this is not, this is at a rodeo.
oh,
last time.
I
This
thought
is,
that was a different
this is
angle.
new.
Let me just tell this story real quick. The first 15 minutes of this rodeo, wow, this is Liz coming here this summer. We were like as happy as pigs and shit watching like cowboys run around everywhere and do like all this crazy shit. It was so awesome. And then of course, like in the South this summer, apparently we're under whatever you want to call it, a lot of weather. And we only got like 15 minutes of pure joy watching these guys ride around on, you know, horses and like do all this rodeo stuff before we had to run out of there. But this is on our summer FE tour. This is the time we were staying with Karen and Ted. So
Wait,
you probably
so
thought that was Hurricane. Or was it Cammy's? It was a Cammy's.
What I thought it
Yeah.
was, I thought it was a different angle from the group photo we took.
Right.
No, this
by
is
the
this is
hotel.
this this is current. This is this summer, and we are so happy. It was such a good time at this
Look at
rodeo.
Alex actually has a teeth smile.
I have a teeth smile because
he
I
never
just
has teeth smiles, and so when you get a teeth smile from Alex, like he's having a good time.
Yeah,
Like,
it was-
Let me tell you, like he is having fun.
freaking awesome for like 15 minutes, and then we had to leave it. But anyway, I wanted to
And then
correct
there was
that.
this crazy storm.
Oh,
that came
okay.
out.
Well, I'm glad you told me because I told my kids. Well, you guys can't really see.
This is on Liz's.
I was pointing towards the left, like to stage right behind Liz to the right. I'm like, your daddy's over there somewhere.
Oh no, not even the same picture. That's from the Flattober Hurricane Edition. This was current. This happened
Cammy
a
and
month
Zach
ago.
are above. Yeah, Cammy and Zach are above. And so Alex posted this on his Facebook, and everybody started saying that it was AI, and we were like, "What?"
Yeah, everyone thought it was AI, and what I said was on the picture. I said in about 10 years this will make total sense because I was projecting out how long it would actually take for people to actually figure out the Earth was flat. And then there's all these people in this picture who are we're not the first ones, but we were like kind of the early ones. And then I posted, yeah, we all had Flat Earth on vinyl, and I posted it with that. So that this is a recent picture, and this was from this summer. But Liz came for the Hurricane edition as well. So Liz is a trooper coming from overseas, and she's rad. And I think she had left unless she decided to stay in the United States. I don't know. Karen, correct
No,
me on
she's
that.
gone. She's gone.
I think she headed back. Tuesday.
But by the way, I was just kind of celebrating and
Thursday.
having a good time that I started the Tinfoil Sombrero actual Instagram, not just mine. That I took some liberties on your photo, but what I did to your shirt took longer than it looks like. I love doing photo editing, but I added heavy shadowing to your shirt, Alex.
Did you actually Photoshop me?
I did a lot for that photo. I was
This
playing
picture?
around.
Those teeth aren't real, are they?
He put shadows on my shirt. I mean, it doesn't look bad.
Most of mine aren't.
I just love that we actually got a couple of these. This was just the one. Jana, I'm sorry that you got cut off by my head, and Cammie, I'm sorry that you were moving during the shot. But well, we kind of got everybody in there, and believe it or not, while this was happening, there was a guy being drugged down the dirt by a horse, being thrown into the dirt, and we were all enjoying it. So there you go. That's the story.
Rodeos are so funny.
So one thing I really like about Iron Realm, which is I'm a big fan before I've ever talked to him before like my first Flattoberfest and Solar Return and all that, of Mark Devlin. And I can't really be very, very vocal about what happened, but a bunch of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, especially the Iron Realm Media guys. So I call him up, and I called him up on Skype because he's in the UK. He does the musical truth books about Laurel Canyon, which is a lot about what my first solo Sombrero is going to be about. But we were talking, and I'm like, yeah, man, the whole world isn't what I thought it was when I was a guy, in a van touring. And I was like, you might judge me, but I'm going to be honest with you, dude. I'm straight up a flat earther now. And like, I'm sitting here waiting for, one of my favorite authors to crush my soul and make fun of me. And he goes, that just means you're a critical thinker. I am too. And then whenever I got on the Iron Realm show for my 7-year anniversary 4 years ago, apparently Mark Devlin came out about being one on their show, which I thought was an amazing little, I don't know. I just think that's really cool. Maybe I'm easily impressed.
We dig it. No, we dig it that happened. I mean, we strictly invited him on because of the fact that he was into this conspiracy and the music. And if you get into checking out, the levels of lies under which we all labor, then you kind of understand that what you thought about music growing up totally isn't exactly what was going on with music while you were growing up. So
at
him
all.
to come on and hang out
Yeah,
at
Laurel
all,
Canyon's fucking weird. And just
so
a
we
little
had
bit of
him
a
come
side
and
note
for the
audience.
Go ahead.
I want to see if anyone knows the answer to this. I pretty much knew, but I had to
Get back
ask.
chat.
How did Iron Realm Media come up with the name?
Oh, I found this out
For
late.
the audience, just for the audience.
Yeah, just for the chat.
Yeah, if anyone knows. It's a very interesting question and answer. See if anyone knows. And then after that, I don't want to bogart.
A lot of you guys got to meet Mark Devlin while chat's trying to answer that. Meet him. That was when I first got sick, so I couldn't go to Vegas. But I was talking to DJ on the phone yesterday for like an hour, and he was like, yeah, I met him. He's a prince. Like, apparently he's really down to earth. Like, he's not full of himself at all. I didn't know he came to stateside. I thought he was kind of like Alex Michael.
Devlin's a rad dude. I first found out about him during the 2020 event.
Musical truth.
He was one of the first guys that did a rant from a grocery store parking lot, probably April, maybe March 2020. And I was like, this dude is already on fire. I was like, I got to be friends with this guy. But it took like a year or two for like all of us to connect. Turns out we're all kind of in the same, mindset as he is. He does a lot of musical. He probably woke me up to a lot of musical stuff that I didn't want to face too. Like a lot of my big heroes, the ones you could tell they showed their faces 2020 to 2022. The ones that the ones that showed up and said, said, do what the system says. Well, as much as I like their music, I lost my love for it, and it's weird. They still wrote great songs, but I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, I'm not really going to put your record on anymore. It's not going to be
Or did they write
something.
great songs?
Or did they? And that's another layer of the onion.
Well, that's my first episode of Solo Sombrero. Like, that's the main thing I want.
Right. This is teaser. Just a little.
Yeah, my notes for that are amazing. That's why Lowry's like, okay, so your first solo sombrero, you're going to have another sombrero on there.
Don't tickle the pickle too much.
I'm the lone wolves.
Well,
Wait,
can I clarify a little bit more about that?
Tell him, Andrew. Tell him not to tease it as much. Tell him.
I don't care.
The idea was for
all 10 people
of us,
watch it. Go ahead, sorry.
And once per month on whatever day we choose, it's going to be only one of us. And we can do whatever the fuck we want, essentially, and bring on whoever we want, if we should even choose to do that. And meaning that if Rico is doing his solo sombrero, I'll be in the chat, but I'm not going to be allowed to come up.
And we don't run over our Sunday slot. But yeah, we'll talk about that later. Let's
okay. My next subject I wanted to get into, because you had brought it up, Rico, because of how nonsensical type of thing that Jaren is going through right now. I think he might be MK Ultra. I don't really know the answer to that, but now he's basically saying that, and I actually went back and watched it because one of my students told me about that, and he's like, "Yeah, there's no way I can actually disprove the moon landing now," or something like that. So, it was so painful to even listen to that. But my question for our very honorable royalty of guests at the moment: what amount of evidence would you require in order to believe the moon landing actually happened? If there's any, because that's my question for Josh and Walt.
I mean, I really don't know at this point in the world we exist in, where you can't even trust a video any longer at all, that there would be anything they could show me. And then the other part of it would be I would have to see it for myself. Unfortunately, the only way for that to happen would be to trust in their rockets, which sure are doing a lot of blowing up on a lot of launch pads of late. So yeah, I probably would just have to go without knowing the truth on that one.
Gotcha.
I think some would help. I'm not sure how much it would take, but let's start with the little and see where we go from there. Let's lose the bullshit pictures. If you got any real damn proof, go ahead and bring that up, because I'm just not buying it. Like, what that proof would look like, I can't even imagine. But it certainly wouldn't look like the shadows that are cast on the pictures that they've given us. I can't imagine that it would look anything like what they've tried to give us throughout the years. Now that they finally settled on, okay, well, this is going to be our story and we're going to stick to it. I think the proof that I would require would look considerably different than the proof that they've given us so far. So what that would look like, I think there's an infinite number of things that might look like as to how it can tell when something is actually happened versus something that has been staged, obviously, or even sort of well, depending on how it was directed, I guess would be a good way to say it. But I don't know. It probably wouldn't take a whole lot of proof.
Yeah. Well, like my whole bucket thing, that one bucket only has that one drop that isn't even a good drop, in my opinion. I wish I could say more. Hey, you know what? I'm going to forget it later. What are you pushing to make the guy talking big? Where's that, Lowry?
What are you talking about?
What you just did just then, whoever was talking.
I'm just running whatever production I can from our little studio here out in Atlanta. So
he's just making the.
I'm just doing solo layout.
Is
Everybody out there that's listening, we're learning Rico production work, satellite version. So like, I'm actually having kind of fun here because I like this. I like this banter. Keep it going. You got more questions,
Yeah.
Andrew?
Andrew, I have a question really quick. Can we talk about the manifesto that there's templates for later, maybe if we have time? Because
I maybe.
Is that on your schedule, Andrew?
I'm sorry.
No, not really. I mean,
I laughed, but Andrew was on Sob last night, and he was like, Sob was like, "Is there a manifesto template on like Google Docs or something?" And Andrew, click. Well, yes, there's 59 of them or something. And I was like, 59 different versions of manifestos. But sorry,
Yeah.
I just threw a wrench in that. So yeah, continue bantering. And
I think that's just the free version. I think you get premium templates if you pay for the
premium manifestos.
Yeah, sure.
right. So
That's so cool.
Yeah, I was on there for like 2 hours last night, and that's it because he was talking about like the manifestos of these different people, and maybe I should wait until after the break. We're going to break in like 10 minutes or something like that.
Actually, we're going to do it in 4 minutes.
We're actually at break here.
Two commercials, and
so
I invited. Don't ever talk over me. I'm just kidding. I invited Kami to come on and maybe drop some hints about what hers is about. So I'm going to play hers second. But go ahead, Andrew.
No, I'm going to wait until after this because there's something actually serious happening right now in the government, and you're not going to believe what's actually happening. And I will discuss that after the break. But I want to see what Josh and Walt actually have to say about it. So that's another question that I have for them. Even though I speak with them all the time, but these are questions that I'm trying to make as unique as possible.
Me too. Hey, on Teams, I've been going at both of them like, hey, any topics yet? Do we got any topics? So, like, they're not like sitting and looking at the four of us like, wow, you guys are underprepared. Like,
we're just
like,
here.
what are we going to talk about that hasn't been beaten down so far? Like, like.
I love the manic energy pre-show.
3.
Everybody's like, all right, let's do this. We're going to get the production done. We're going to talk about this. Then we're going to talk about this. Then I'm going to play this. Then we're going to talk about this. Then we're going to go. I'm like, damn, this shit is awesome. I wake up, roll out of bed.
You guys don't do that?
Computer on. I don't know how you guys do that.
You know what's funny, though, is my journal and show notes is over there, and I can't get to it.
We've never used your show notes ever in the history of the Sombrero, but I love
actually we are, but loosely. Like
it's just an osmosis kind of thing.
It's more you guys are seeing more of an outline because I don't fight it. Like if we get something going, I'm like, I'll look down at my nose and go, well, what's happening organically is so much better than what I have written down. I'm just going to let it go. You know what I mean?
Well, to bring it full circle, I used to do show notes too and try to pre-plan and try to have a schedule and do all this and have the things I wanted to talk about. I would just never be able to get to them. Maybe one, but then that just goes into so many side tangents that I just wasted so many hours throughout the week trying to plan a show that I just wasted. It's just no good because the best conversation is completely off the cuff about something that was completely unplanned.
Oh my gosh. Can we post the show notes, Rico? Like after the fact? And
sure. Oh my God.
Show versus notes.
No, because I would be kicked off the internet.
Well,
hey, you know what? Back when I was like Mr. Party Guy, I would get bilocational in a bad way. Like I couldn't focus on doing sound check on my drums because I was trying to do something else. I would call it getting bilocational. Well, I actually needed to go bilocational for tonight's show and was still working on Solo Sombrero so hard. I was like, oh shit, the show's tonight. So I was still talking to them. Hey, I'll tell you what, though, the 15 people that tune into my episode are going to get rocked.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, like I'm working way too hard on something that may or may not be worthwhile. All right, guys, everyone take a break, smoke a cigarette, smoke weed every day. Do what you do, make yourself a cocktail. That sounds like something I haven't had in years. It's only been a few months. But yeah, take a break, guys. And when you come back, we're going to go right by my outline, and it's going to be the most professional shit you've ever seen.
Oh, damn. Boom.
See you in a bit.
All right, later, guys.
Frequently asked questions, more resources, books divided into your favorite categories, shopping for that perfect flat earth item, homeschool section, featured content creators, biblical cosmology, old world research, video search feature, games. The Meetup Maker will help you find your local tribe. Matchmaker to help you find that special someone. Search your selected radius and say hello. Image search for those key images at your fingertips. Enjoy our chat section. Selected new background in our settings area. Time lapse, zodiac, and time zones. The Friend Finder helps you see where all the cool people are hanging. Use your referral code and earn points and dome cryptocurrency.
Choo.
Beat the Google censorship and get your Flat Earth Clock app today at flatearthdave.com.
Nope.
Esoterica. Hi. Ice. Air. Water. Ether. Save the date. October 17, 18, and 19, 2025. Esoterica.
All right. That was a short break. Told you I just started working on it today. So let's put the pressure. Entertain us, Josh and Walt. By the way, a lot of nicknames I've made up in our circle that have stuck, and I just wait and see if anyone realizes it was me that made up that name. I see one in chat right now. But I can't get Waltz to catch on. Walt.
And I'm so grateful for that.
Oh, come on. It's so much fun. Waltz. Are you kidding me? It's better than Ray Ray. I bet Ray Ray is like, I don't remember that moment.
You know, I will say, in full disclosure, there was a time in my life that I was looking for the perfect Louisiana Waltz song to play for like a intro for Walter, because it would be the Louisiana Waltz. Waltz, Louisiana Waltz.
Thank goodness they're all over in Texas. So
All right. So my
before
next,
our 1 year anniversary show, sorry, Andrew, just to be quick. Before our
Yeah, go
1 year anniversary show, since the show was going to be from Ted and Karen's place in their studio, I was trying to get, because I said it on accident, Ked and Taryn. So I was trying to get that to catch on, but no one was having it. But end of story. Yep. Interesting. You had to have been there, I guess. All right, go ahead, Andrew.
Before we kick off, Andrew, I'm going to interrupt. Even though it's not my show, I'm not going to do that much. I just wanted to say shout out to Based Mike D for Life, who did get mostly the correct answer to your query there in chat before the break. He said iron, Fe.
yes,
That's
the
it,
periodic
pretty
table of
much.
elements is Fe for iron.
The round part was from that alleged quote about the Earth not being a planet, but being a realm from Tesla, although I never verified the authenticity of that quote. To my satisfaction, anyway.
I've got some space lettuce for you guys. I'm going to save it till tomorrow morning if I'm awake. But for the time being, I'm sharing my screen. Rico?
Okay. I'm looking for it. I see it.
Okay. So I didn't find out about this until today. I didn't know this is actually a real fucking thing. But right now there are live congressional hearings today about UFOs. And there are loads of videos about this. And this has been going for quite some time. Like CNN says it's been going for 11, almost 12 hours. And Donald Trump's big shocker on US UFOs controversy. And I'm just wondering, I am not unmuting this, just so you know that. But it is, I don't even need to fucking look at the chat. It's fucking stupid too. But I'm just wondering, what do you guys, Josh and Walt, what do you guys think?
Milk and cookies.
Legitimate thing, a waste of time, or aliens real? I want to hear your point of view.
It's milk and cookies. Like for Christmas time, the parents go through the trouble for the complete brainwashing, right? You've really got to let it sink in. So it's not just that Santa Claus exists, but we're going to put out milk and we're going to put out cookies, right? We're going to feed Santa Claus. Then if not at night, you drink some of the milk, you take a couple bites of cookies and you leave the evidence. Look, there he is. Because my words may not be enough. To believe in the magic of Christmas might not be enough. You might have enough God blessed common sense to think for yourself like, well, wait a minute. So he comes down the chimney with a bag of presents. All right, well, that doesn't make a lot of sense, but there's cookies. There's cookies.
That's where it all started, wasn't it? That's
was
where the
really
big lie started. Santa
Didn't
Claus.
really believe in, well, what, all the parents are going to lie to their kids? How could you support a lie that big?
Yeah, the weird thing I've always wondered about the milk and cookies thing is, do you know how many cookies Santa Claus would be eating? How many, like, unless he's like really, really magical. I've never understood that.
I'm not sure what you think Santa Claus looks like, but he's not like buff and ripped, as I recall. Wasn't Santa Claus kind of a hefty dude?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Like you'd expect somebody to look if they're just going around eating, I don't know, 7 billion cookies a year.
So, in regards
my
to
Santa Claus is the Billy Bob Thornton one.
Bad Santa.
Yeah,
Bad Santa. I
Yeah.
fucking love that movie.
which I think it's just Billy Bob Thornton in a Santa Claus outfit.
All right.
My Jewish friend Chalky used to dress up as a bad Santa and got paid to go to like Christmas parties, like corporate Christmas parties.
Cuss a lot and get drunk.
Cuss a lot, get drunk, and be like a bad Jewish Santa at Wall Street Christmas parties for like hedge funds and stuff.
Yeah, that exists.
Like, well, it's an art form.
Yeah.
But in regards to aliens,
The way he can use the word fuck, just the way it rolls off the tongue and the way he can use it in a sentence and just the emotion that he can portray. out of just the word fuck is beautiful. There's nobody else that could pull off Bad Santa.
Yeah, Billy Bob Thornton is definitely a masterpiece of an actor. And Bad Santa, that's probably like, and also that with the other one, Halle Berry. Fucking. Also, he's doing that other one called Lawmen. Fucking wonderful show if you haven't seen it. But in regards to aliens,
He was
what do you
also
guys
in
think?
Fargo.
Are they outer ponders? Are they just completely fictional? Or just wondering what your point of view is.
I think they're Nephilim.
Yes.
I think they're Nephilim and demons. I think they're exactly what the Bible says they are. Obviously, no one here thinks they're from outer space, but
Josh, Walt, kick in.
I think they're a mix of things. Yeah, Josh, Walt, you're the guest.
This is the issue of
Go
having
ahead.
done this for so fucking long that I am such a cynical asshole that it's hard for me to really say anything about anything. Maybe it's aliens. I mean, if outer space, I mean, I don't think outer space is what they say it is, but I can't say that things aren't coming from something out there. Maybe that's where the portal is. And it looks like that's what they're coming from outer space because they're coming from the sky. So it looks like, I don't know. Maybe they're demons. I don't know. Maybe they're angels. I don't know. Maybe it's all government stuff. I don't know. Maybe they're from beyond the ice wall. I don't know. I don't trust anything. I can't believe anything. I don't know. I'll just have to sit here and be a cynical asshole and just hope I can keep doing a show and hang out with folks that are really cool as shit in chat because I just don't know anything about anything anymore.
Well said. Well said.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know if it's real either. Like, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I'm not going to judge you for whatever you think. And, something, if it's like that in your reality, well, have fun with that,
Walt, what do you think?
No, what can I say? Follow that. I mean, come on. Josh took the words exactly out of my mouth. We have been at this a minute and have seen lots before we even got to Flat Earth. Before I got to Flat Earth, I had already dove off the deep end with aliens and researching that. I mean, I was going to UFO conventions. I had met quite a few authors, had gotten to be friends with a few of them, had gotten to know abductees really well. In fact, we had one come back on our show years later, not too long ago. It's been a while now, but anyway, so went from that going like, okay, I need to understand what this is to, just completely leaving that completely because of all the same stuff we're seeing happen right now with Flat Earth. I watched all that implosion happen with the UFO community that I was involved in anyway. Now it always cycles back around again. It comes back around again and rebrands itself with some new person that's now the leader. Who was that alien dude they had doing it for a while recently? Greer or whatever. That fucking dude definitely is around
my
here.
God.
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah.
Musk.
There's a lot of people doing the
But then there is
alien-
Musk.
Yeah, I would.
He's an
But
alien.
yeah, I don't know. I don't have a clue. It was one of my like sticking points early on. It was like, well, okay, I know there's something going on. So where are they at?
Isn't it funny?
Outer
Isn't it
space?
funny
And,
that there's always like a guy that suddenly fills in the gaps somewhere? Like Greer is filling up the UFO gap. The guy Bob Lazar, he's still kicking that same thing he's been kicking for years.
Again. Yep, he just came kicking through again.
He
Somebody
comes
told me
popping
he
back
had a
up
big
again.
Blow up. Yep.
Yeah, he goes away and then he comes back, and I'm like, okay, all right, whatever. Like, I read Brotherhood of the Bell, which was like that big story about the Nazi scientists who had mastered.
Oh yeah.
Basically, what it was a magnetic levitation, and they had sent it out in various directions, right? And I mean, as far as I'm concerned, outer space is out. It ain't like this. It's out. There's probably shit over there we don't know about, and they fly they fly over the ghetto, which is where we live. They sometimes they crash. Sometimes they crash, and sometimes like stories have to be made and talk about their tech that's not any different than what we have here. Yeah. Anyway, there you go.
Okay, the reason I was bringing it up is
Hold on.
there's an actual
Hold
live.
on. Andrew.
Yes.
Kami, we lost you. I don't know if you know that.
I saw her. She joined in for a moment. But
Yeah,
I was
well,
bringing it up because
I've been
there's a live
texting.
congressional hearing about aliens again.
I got you. We've been texting back and forth. She's going to explain what the break was about. But yeah, keep going, Andrew.
No, I was only asking about it because everyone has their own point of view on like outerlanders, innerlanders. Do they come from the deep ocean, underground, lizard people, fucking whatever the hell it is?
Any and all of that could be. Yeah.
Any and all of it.
I know
Right,
that Greer, man. I saw him on Higher Side Chats with Greg Carlwood, yes. And man, if Greg questioned anything about Greer's modus operandi or whatever, like that guy was defensive and just moody and a control freak. Like there's something about him that I just do not trust.
Like military.
Well, because isn't what he was doing at the White House was what Andrew's saying, right? Like, wasn't he doing this like a decade ago, like trying to get all these military high ups?
He's playing a role. He's playing some
idea.
sort of role in order to entertain the Sky event, which is like, that's just dumb. It's retarded. And there's a lot of guys doing that. It's not just him. There's a whole UFO community. Most of them, well, you can actually get a take on where they're actually at because they won't talk about FE. The ones that won't talk about FE are doing the rhetorical tap dance. You know, they're gatekeepers, all of them. And it's like
rhetorical tap dance.
it means they'll skip all the way up
How
to
does
all
that
this
actually
crazy
sound
shit
in like Fred Astaire type day?
like this.
David Icke did. I couldn't believe it. Did you guys hear
Shuffle
David
ball
Icke?
change.
Did he say something about FE?
David Icke, probably a good 6-7 years ago, went on Tinfoil Sombrero Tinfoil Hat with Sam Tripoli. There she is again with Sam Tripoli. I just added her, and him and Eddie Bravo asked him about flat Earth. He's like, nothing. I got an echo.
A little bit of an echo.
Can you guys hear it?
Yeah, I heard you pop up on the first time.
Huh.
Can you just try hitting mute real quick? See if
just mute.
So she's probably. I'm still getting an echo there.
Everybody did. All right. You know what? I'll talk through this. Amy, tell us what your video was about. Homegirl. Lady. I can't stand trying to talk over echo. It's difficult.
So everybody mute except Cammy.
Okay.
She muted too.
Posted.
Not you, Cammy.
I think she went to go get her technical advisor.
Yeah, she's muted now. So basically, she's going to explain the video that we played in the middle of it.
Oh, you're not doing it now, am I?
Well, no, she's muted. I think it's coming through her thing. But when she starts talking, everybody else mute. She's going to give us something about.
I know what
everybody.
It is, Amy. You're playing you're playing our live stream on another tab or another device. That's what it usually is when it happens to me.
Yeah, you just have to turn your audio down.
You could tell it messes with my thought pattern. I called you homegirl, and I would never do that.
Homegirl.
So let's see what happens here. So go ahead and unmute Cammy, and we will. Okay, so that's better.
All right, you got it.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Sharon.
Hi, Cammy.
Hi, Nico. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Oh, I am hot and sweaty, and it started thundering and raining on me out here.
Oh, yeah. These storms have been really, really weird, actually.
We got a fun one moving through right now. I have blue skies patches, but big cells already going all over the place. So if you hear some booms, that's me. Hi, Josh. Hi, Walt.
Hi, Cammy. I missed you.
I miss you
Hi,
too.
Cammy. It's good to see you here. How are you?
Oh, it's good. We've had so many FOMO. Is that what they are? FOMOs?
You're missing out. Yeah.
We have been missing you guys big time over the last few weeks.
I'm so glad that you've had a blast with that sweet, sweet lady there at your house. You just don't know how it's just
How
warmed my
great
heart
is
knowing
Liz,
she's been-
man?
How great is Liz?
I almost rode my bike to your house just to see her before she left. Like I was like, dude, there's people that go. There's Forrest Gump made it to one coast to the other. I could ride a bike.
Good luck.
Have a
Well,
beard.
All right. So,
where are you, Rico?
Just outside of Nashville.
No, see, that was nothing. We had people drive in from Michigan to see Liz. We had people the last day she was here drive like 3.5 hours each way to come see her just to say goodbye and that. So Nashville is like 4.5, 5 hours
On a bicycle?
On a bicycle?
Actually, that might be the fastest route with I-40 torn apart.
Right. No, we have a new car now, but my other one's still. Whew, it's fun.
So, Cammy, talk to us a little bit. We played some very mysterious video, which I'm not saying anything about.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I'll tell you a little bit about it. You are one of the people probably responsible for making it happen. Everybody wants a fall event out east. We want to play, we want to get together. So I've had several people say, like, we need to do that Atlanta. I think you found the fun of having an event in Atlanta and the different things, and also going in again where people are really comfortable with the title and the event that you're having. That's a
Indeed.
big part, is being welcome, being there and welcomed and graciously welcomed, which is really, really important for an event in the way it feels. So we are looking. There is an event coming. We want to keep it a little bit mysterious because we will be announcing headliners in that coming up. It is Esoterica, which Esoterica is going to cover a lot. Esoterica, for people not familiar with it, Esoterica or the arcane, these are things that are like rarely known by anyone and then understood by even fewer. So we'd like to go into a lot of the deep topics. I know, even out of respect for Bob, and that he loved the esoteric part and taking things a little bit deeper. We'd like to have it. Well, in fact, it will be festival style. There will be arts. The only way that esoterica can be presented, with arts, with music, with nature, with reality, because when you start to get down to the answers we're looking at, everything is created from this earth. And so if you want to look at the answers, you almost need to look at creation, how things are created, the beauty of it, to see again if you the answers we're looking for, they're there. Well, we could go over several different details. Ooh, I do not want to be big. I do not want to be big. Switch it back, Rico.
I didn't do that one. Look.
It was me. It was me, Cammy. I'm sorry.
It was you, Lowry. I know,
Yeah,
that was
sorry.
nice. I have been in the back. You'll notice there are very few weeds, but it was a hot day, and I've been out in the hot sun pulling weeds all afternoon, which is wonderful. But my garden, that is beautiful right now, and I'm enjoying it. I call that really grounding, and you learn a lot of from it and get different ideas. But I do know that we are going to have a lot of artists there. Lowry, do you want to announce one of the artists that's going to be there? Because I think it's going to be you.
Does this
I'm ready
mean
to
I
play
get
some music.
Hey, do I get to play again this year? Is that back on now?
If you practice,
Absolutely. If you
Rico.
practice really hard, Rico.
Rico, that's a yes. Okay.
Dude, no, I've never heard anyone like tell me to practice songs that were in 4/4.
That was epic. Oh,
I think you're gonna nail your audition, Rico.
Yeah.
We are going to have to play tunes to music. We have the Rubens tube and that, so the music flaring. We have therapophones. We have all kinds of neat gadgets, the child dish, and that again, all of this stuff responds to music. So music is a huge, huge, huge part of the festival. How can you have art and esoterica without the beauty and the music of it? So it will be a lot of music. It will be a lot of some good speakers, really special speakers, and a lot of the arts.
I dig
Festival. A festival. What do you want to know more?
Flamethrowers?
Do we know any what?
Flamethrowers? Like flame dancers? Like fire dancers?
I think that is absolutely a good idea. Nico, did you want to practice for this, or
You know,
Actually, I know a girl
I-
that can blow it from her mouth, like drinks whatever and spits it out. I know a girl that can do all that kind of crap.
I
Yeah.
can try.
My ex-wife was like that.
I did.
Was she
I
a
did.
dragon?
I'm a
It was
dragon.
fire. Oh, you lost me there.
She
Mhm.
was part of something that was on Ozfest. No, Lollapalooza.
Mm.
The sideshow circus freak side.
Jim
Jim
oh,
Rose.
man.
Jim Rose.
Yeah, yep.
Yep.
I'm
I
sure
like
we can find a flamethrower for sure, or
I
some
like
fireworks.
Yeah, I like the idea of all kinds of fireworks, and different flaming items. That always. I am a dragon. I am a wood dragon. Burning anything is close to my heart. So no, definitely fire is happening. Art is happening. Music is happening. A whole lot of magic is happening, and fireworks, and that will be part of it. I mean, I don't know professional fireworks, but
Well, we
you,
can just talk to Mark Sargent about that.
Hey, did
Yeah.
you guys say where it's going to be, or is that still something that's hush hush?
No,
I think we can tell the little group here where it's going to be if we want to. We could put it in chat. Is that hush hush?
Well,
I
no.
can-
Nate
No,
told me
no.
Nate told me on the phone earlier. I didn't know if you guys said that while I was busy just now.
Okay, did he say it was okay or hush hush? It could be. We have a
He
group
didn't
of
say
people.
either way. That's why I wanted to ask.
Well, in the little group, it will be at the wonderful place that we had in mind on previous ones, but something called the Music Camp, which is what is it, over 40 acres or even bigger than that of oops. I saw the Jim Rose Circus sideshow. Karen, I hope this is okay. I'm not reading the chat, but it is a completely whimsical place set up with sound stages with overlooking patios and different karaoke and music spots set up overlooking rivers and
That place is
next
so
to
cool.
camp at the place that you would want to be. There are totem poles. There are, I mean, it's done with love. It's done whimsical with love, and so I'm sure we're going to getting a lot more up about the place. But the place is absolutely ideal for a festival, a gathering, and especially for
Even the
learning.
paths in between the different sections was cool. We were looking for Nate's bike, and we got to explore the whole thing. Just the people you'll run into on the path to go from one place to another. Oh, Karen said it's cool. Just
cool.
the path, just those conversations and those paths in the woods. I would love to get a tent and like stay there for a week.
Exactly.
it's really beautiful.
It really is. It's got a little river there. I mean, it's so cool, man.
It has a river running through it. The paths he's talking about are all through the woods and are all lit by fairy lights up both sides at night. So it gets even more incredible at night. You saw how beautiful it was during the day. They're all like more trails, easy to get to, little nicks to get away from, little a lot of gazebos and that set up. So, something like if there's tarot cards or different places like this, all kinds of ways to set up art, face painting, activities, things going on galore. Actually, we plan a lot of activities, a lot of hands-on stuff, tactile. It's going to be going over 3 days from a Friday night until, starting on a Friday afternoon, and running through until everybody will pack up and take out Sunday. So the speakers and the events will start on Friday night and end on a Sunday afternoon, and there's going to be a whole lot happening. There will be the 3-day passes, the 1-day passes, all kinds of different things available. But we're working on securing our lineup, and that we have enough to know that it's for sure to go better than we'd even hope for it to be. And so
That's so exciting.
It is. It really is
so exciting.
So again, with the music and the speakers and that, I'm going to, again, the realm that I like to, the unknown. Yeah, very exciting.
Well,
That's so exciting.
The number of people that said behind the hotel after the hurricane was their favorite Flattoberfest or event, just because of the camaraderie. So if you take that factor and you put it on that piece of land, where it was going to be, like you would even have to have, don't get me wrong, we should have music and speakers, but even if there wasn't anything, it was just us all hanging out at that campsite, man, that would be the time of our life. We would never forget
It is.
that.
It is. There's like campfire area set up all over. It's perfect. I mean, it's a perfect venue. It's set up with kitchens and that. Dr. Law will be coming and making his food available, and I do believe the Boltons are going to try to make it also, and some different people. So there will be food available on venue. Food, drink, and everything available there. There are lots of hotels nearby. And we'll try to like let people know which ones that most people are gathering as we get closer and that and announce it.
Well, didn't they say we could camp there last year?
Oh, we
Yeah.
can camping there is for sure 100% option.
It's encouraged.
It's
Okay.
encouraged. It's beautiful.
Yeah, Emily's trying to get me a tent from her little Amazon job.
It's primitive, but it's very cool.
It's actually
I saw the grounds before and after the hurricane, and
That's what I was thinking, Karen.
yeah,
Mhm.
it was devastating. But Karen said in the chat that apparently all those logs and stuff that were blocking everything have been turned into more cool shit, which is
Furniture, yeah. I'm sorry to cut you up, Nico. I'm reading it too on their furniture and more cool shit. They are amazing there. The entire
Yeah.
people that run this place are artists and musicians. And
that's so cool.
you feel it through well, you guys have been to the site, so you just feel it in your toes. We can't not make magic there. They the owners of the venue got of course, it got hit very bad where the venue was. The venue actually did not get hit too bad. They had some fallen trees, and they were able to recover. The main thing is there were power lines down all over, and that's dangerous. But that got resolved right away, and they've actually made it better than ever. I felt bad because they lived up in the Asheville area, and they were personally hit and lost their homes and lost everything else. And so we definitely want to give they have moved down local to the Spartanburg area now, and we definitely want to give them, a running start on getting everything up and running again. And again, they're such a delight to work with. They do the synchronized firefly exhibits and all the different music festivals in the area.
That's
So,
awesome.
Well,
and they're
I've been
welcoming.
seeing Esoterica October 2025 scrolling beneath the screen. Is there a hard date on that October?
Yes, there is, and we should scroll it on the screen. The 17th, 18th, and 19th, because
All right.
Walter and Josh, you have
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
you have the special invites, which I wish I could extend to everybody, and I won't be able to extend to everybody, but the Iron Realm group,
Oh, well,
you
I
are
appreciate
so
that. I thought you were just
welcome
going to tell
in my
us to
home.
start making plans, and I was like,
Start
yeah, we
make-
definitely got to talk about that for sure. But
No,
yeah, we'd love
start-
that. Thank you for that invitation.
What month did you say?
What month is that? October, not September, October, back to where we are with outside of hurricane season and
Right.
what we would call the best weather ever in this area, that our days are usually at that time of year. And we've done all of the previous festivals in the area, the solar returns, the different flat Oktoberfest, the different events that have been in this area, and that we tried to run it there. It wasn't available last year anywhere. It was crazy. And we tried to run it at late October because really it's about 78 degrees to 80 degrees. It's cooled off during the day, and it's what I would call our perfect season here.
Cool. That's very cool.
Today,
Peak peeper season.
I'll tell you what. I'm paying.
Isn't it?
I'm paying to ride with someone. I'm not driving through the mountains again.
Is that Greensburg, Tammy?
No, it's Spartanburg.
Spartanburg.
Spartanburg, right there.
Everyone thinks I wrecked in the mountains. I didn't wreck in the mountains, but the mountains was the scariest part of that drive. Holy crap!
Well,
I'm just now driving again, just a little bit, just to the dump and stuff.
It was rough driving through those mountains. There's no doubt about that, Rico. But I think the scariest part of that journey for me was a few months later when we all found out how bad Josh's vision actually was.
Oh, right. No, I heard you guys. Yeah.
Am I sideways? Am I sideways now?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
I was
sideways.
going to ask,
Yeah,
had
but
you
that's
moved
okay.
to the equator or what was going on with
Yeah,
that?
you're on the
Kenny?
equator, Cammy.
I like that. I like that. That's hysterical. So I'm sideways now. Okay.
One of the things I love most about you, Keith.
Actually,
Do you know,
Cammy,
this
everybody
works
else
for
is
you.
sideways. You're
This is
actually the right way. Everybody else is sideways.
this
Okay.
this is the MC Escher segment of the show of Sombrero.
So that's
that works.
fun. So like, yeah, because I was out in the area, last year, and I was like, I remember being bitterly disappointed of like how much everybody missed in the site, and we walked around it. This was post hurricane, and there was all these little nooks and crannies all around the place where if you don't want to be in the main group, you can go and form your own little side little areas, little camping areas. There's a little river that runs through there. At the time last year during the hurricane, it was raging, and it was orange with the clay of South Carolina running through it. It was a little bit scary to be out there at that point in time, but you could see the kind of the vibe that it would be. You got a big giant main stage. You've got this gorgeous like overlook from the main stage, and then you've got these little tiny little camps that run along the river, and you can go down to those, and you can talk about anything you want in these little spots. And yeah, I remember that from last year being like the biggest sinking thing in my stomach. I was like, man, I know like, the Campton Inn was like this thing that was like pretty special to everybody, but like what we missed from that venue. And I really hope that we can make this thing go proper, because like this place is pretty special, right, Cammy?
This is more than special. And again, we really, really, for an outdoor venue, it's a dream because again, you have two totally covered areas where the stage is covered, and if it does rain or anything like that, it's set up to handle all of that. I mean, it's the perfect outdoor venue. The one thing it couldn't handle was an actual hurricane hitting and all the power lines in the area being shut down. But God willing, I can't. We're actually going to cast some spells and keep any bad weather away, because now we know. Now we
Yeah.
know. Fireworks, I know anybody that's been in my backyard, even if we don't have a professional thing, we always have some type of fireworks, and they're available here. So we're definitely going to be lighting things on fire, setting fires, playing music, having a really good time, and meeting up with some really, really special people.
And I'm sure Karen's got like a doomsday collection of cauldrons and recipes that she can bring.
We're
So do I. I have some. I got recipes.
Oh, who started that? I forget now. Oh, was it the preacher?
Hold on. Emily's got. Hold on.
Emily.
Emily, Cammy, and Karen.
Mhm.
If anybody wants to bring a cauldron, we got you.
We gotcha. We gotcha. I don't have a cauldron. I will be there. I have a tiara and
It's just what this community needs right now.
and a cave, yeah.
So
I'll bring a syringe and a shotgun.
there's an extra sombrero there. The old sombrero that I used to wear all the time on this show. When
where you got
Lowry
it,
locked me
right?
in the closet. The
Mine's
sombrero
right
that I
there.
had on.
I have to bring up one thing real quick here.
There's my
And-
my tinfoil sombrero. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's another sombrero there.
Got
So-
it, Andrew.
The most famous quote from the whole catastrophe that happened last year because of the hurricane
Alcohol
was,
and chainsaw.
again, it came from Ted. You guys know what that quote was?
Mm-mm.
It was a statement quote. We need alcohol and
Chainsaws.
That was Karen.
That was Karen
That
that
was
said
Karen.
that.
It wasn't.
That
it
was
wasn't
Karen
Ted.
to Ted.
Yeah, Karen was like, we were actually up at Crumb's
Yeah.
the night before. We didn't know what the hell was going on, so we just hung out by his fireplace, and we're like, what the hell are we gonna do this thing at? Because everyone's like wondering where the hell
So
everybody's
we were
at.
trying to get a hold of Karen, and Karen's phone wasn't working. And then all of a sudden, Karen and Ted just busted in the door.
They busted the door, hanging out.
So we were trying to find firewood.
Yeah, we're trying
Man,
firewood.
That night was so much fun. Man,
Yeah,
what a-
and
what a-
we're like, what were we supposed to do? We're like, I don't know where to direct people. And Karen's like, shouts at Ted. She was like,
She's
I
like,
don't know.
Ted, we need alcohol and chainsaws.
Yeah, and that's probably what brought together
Emily
the
and I were
whole
doing dishes in the.
the whole Campton Inn thing. Is like, well, that's a call to arms to the Campton Inn because that's the last place we can go.
Ted,
And
busted into gear. Literally, it was like, all right, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Who's coming with me?
Yeah. I like it, Cammy. I like it.
Yeah, I love it.
I love it. I'm excited. I'm actually tired today, but I am super, super stoked for this to happen in the magic. Anybody that's been to my office at night, it gets a little bit darker. We'll show you too, or actually I'm going to pop on and let Walt and Josh talk. But you know how much we like magic, doing magic, and what you can do with the lights off and the UV lights and the crystals and the things. You look at reality; it's pretty magical. You guys
Yeah.
you were digging it. I know you were,
Yeah.
Nico. Nico melted ice with diamonds, and it was
Ice with
magic.
diamonds. Yep.
She did.
You know what's weird too is that ice looks like diamonds as well,
Mhm.
and so it's almost like which one's the diamond?
The one that didn't melt. No.
Right, exactly.
That's
Yeah, I
exactly
know that.
actually what
But
it
I
is.
was like, well, it's me. Obviously, I am the diamond. That's what I thought. That was the. Never mind.
Well,
I like
you
it, Cammy.
guys, thank you. Thank you for inviting me on to go over it a little bit. Thank you for letting me talk to Walt and Josh because I missed them a whole bunch. You let me know when Fridays are coming back if they are or not. And I am enjoying the summer vacation a lot.
They are not coming back.
They're not coming back. Perfect. Big hug to you guys. I'm going to go
You
ahead
too,
and
lady.
leave.
Love you a lot.
Bye, Cammy.
You know what?
Love you, Cammy.
Cammy, before you go,
Mhm.
what I had just realized is we've gotten better about not talking over each other or interrupting each other with dumb little "that's what she said" jokes. That's me. We could the next time we have you guys on, we could probably pull off all four the way everyone's being. Like we're only Zach shy of having just a one-parter here.
I think we could possibly do that,
We could manage.
or at least do the three of them, that group in the morning, because I feel kind of like I'm stealing their thunder because I won't get up in the morning to do the morning shows.
I love those. I have an alarm set for those. I love doing those. I tell you what, you guys teaching me, Laura and Nico teaching me to run things back here is keeping me too distracted to get too carried away.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Cammy.
Good night,
we love you.
Love you, lady.
So
Thank God she's gone. Jesus.
I have a thing I want to ask Walt and Josh, and you guys. I'll just let you guys have the floor. We got about like 17 minutes left. I want you guys to talk about where we're going. I want you to talk about like what's happening right now, because I don't think this the subject that we all talk about is going away. And I want you guys to lay out kind of your vision, whatever you're doing, whatever you think about what's happening as we move forward. Because there's not a lot of leaders. It's a leaderless movement, right? But there's a lot of strong thinkers, and you guys are two of them. And I'd like to hear what your thought is moving forward and on all subjects. And like, I'm just going to let you guys flip back and forth and go to town, because I really want to hear where your mind is.
Gather your thoughts for a moment. That's actually a very great question. So, yeah.
Trouble is, it's almost like the UFO question. Like, I remember being worried isn't the right word. But back in 2012, I was trying to be observant of what may or may not be appearing in the sky, thinking that maybe something might be coming back. Maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of prophecy. Could be. And nothing came. Nothing ever came of it. There was no end of the world, probably. There was no return of the Anunnaki, probably. And it's just sort of been the pattern that I see repeated over and over again, is there's a lot of people that will tell you exactly what their truth is, and they will absolutely believe it. And that's about as far as it usually goes. I think there's holes that could be poked in so many things that the prognostication is an exercise in futility. I don't know. Like, especially given the state of things that they tell us are going on around the globe. how is that going to end? Who knows? I mean, how is any of this going to end? I don't know nothing about nothing. For the guy to ask me to say something concrete about how I feel is about impossible, because I don't have any real concrete feelings to speak of. Yeah, I got my wife, my son, my bunnies, and my dogs. I don't know what else to tell you about that. My show in the morning, that's a pretty good priority of mine, and I enjoy, I guess, being able to pay my bills, which isn't something.
Hey, bunny power. Bunny power matters.
Hashtag bunny power.
Okay, bunnies are awesome.
They are.
Bunnies are awesome. And the thing that I wanted to ask you, because you mentioned the Anunnaki, did anybody see because it was all over TikTok that the Anunnaki apparently put a message on the TV, like the television.
It's fake.
Yeah, it might have been fake, but a whole bunch of people saw it. And it was kind of coincided with the fireballs that were falling all over South Carolina, North Carolina, and then there's Bunny Lives Matter. Playboy Bunny Lives Matter.
Anunnaki.
Anyway, the Anunnaki. Are they real? I don't know. I haven't seen the actual. Nobody has a screenshot or anything of the Anunnaki message. So obviously it probably is fake, but or the government's subliminal message bullshit that they're trying to do. But still, there was these other reports from this other side of the internet that were saying that the Anunnaki are trying to save the planet. So I don't know what's going on.
So here we go. So question is, did anyone see the fireballs that happened over Alabama, Georgia, and North Carolina? Anybody out there in chat? Because that went out to everybody.
Yeah,
Anybody?
I saw him.
You saw him?
So something got shot through the
not
sky.
in person. I saw the footage.
You saw the
Yeah, all any of us have seen is really bad, shitty footage. Yeah.
Karen says, I know only about one fireball. I just saw it on I've seen shit fall from the sky all the time. I just think it's somebody shooting some shit. Somebody shot something out there, and it's same shit that comes out of a jet, when they're trying to avoid rockets. They shoot those little things out the back. Well, who's to say there's not a bigger one that they just fired, and it looks like a meteor, and made a big story about it. And
what I saw came
No,
vertically
multiple people saw
straight
that.
down, and it was like dividing a 4-lane highway. Did you guys see that clip?
Yeah.
It was, straight down. Okay. Just making
The
sure.
straight down angle of it made me have some really that's not.
Me
that's kinda
too.
seeing it go up.
And it
That
looked like
don't
the sky was divided right where it was going to
Right.
fall. Yeah, I watched. Yeah, okay.
Well, we've all seen fireworks. What's the difference?
If they launched it and just played us the footage in reverse, would we know the difference?
That's true.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a good
really
point.
is the difference. What's the difference? It's like we've seen things blow up in the sky all the time. It's called 4th of July. And somebody shoots it when it's not 4th of July, they're like, fireballs in the sky. No, it's probably somebody shooting some shit in the sky to freak everybody out, right? I'm like, come on, guys. It's like, what's the difference between seeing some of that shit and fireworks? There's no difference. So then you're like, oh, well, I'm date dependent on when I see things in the sky that are supposed to be important versus those that aren't. Like, if one of those things blows up and no one's ever seen fireworks, say it's not 4th of July, who knows what they would fucking say about it, right? It's just shit in the sky that people are shooting, and it's like go with the meteor thing too. There's a lot of electronic stuff that they talk about, electrical universe or whatever, but it's still shit that's happening right up there that nobody understands it, so they give it a name. Oh, that's a falling star. Oh, wow, that's a meteor. There's a fireball coming from the sky. Yeah, it might just be some asshole dropping fucking incendiaries from a fucking plane.
In aggregate.
Tell you don't appreciate that. I'm just like, I'm just saying, it's like the logic takes over in this whole thing. It's like, yeah, shit happens in the sky, and that goes all the way back to this bullshit.
If you saw something like that, would you even believe that you saw it?
I saw. I
you
see.
don't believe it on another screen, but if you saw it with your own true eyes, would you? Like if I saw
They look like fireworks.
If I saw it in front of you, and I was like, "Oh my God, Alex, look, there is a fireball falling from the sky." Would you look up, see the fireball, and be like, "I don't know if that's a fireball"?
I would look up and be like, some asshole dropped it from a plane.
So somebody is shitting fireballs above
Yeah, so we have like guys shitting fireballs from the sky.
Potentially, yes. And also, the last thing I'm going to say, I have one question, one statement and a question. And be respectful to veterans because, like myself, I cannot stand the sound of fireworks.
Yeah.
It bothers me a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it also fucks up like animals. Like you are hearing dogs howl and shit like that. It scares the fuck out of cats. Anyways, just be respectful of that. I hate fireworks so much. And my last question. Karen, you want to do a stream with me? Fuck yeah.
That'd be epic.
Really?
I can't wait.
Epic.
Ooh.
I'd like
Just
to
let
see
me know
that
when.
too. I would like
You
to
got my
see
number.
that too.
So, my last question, and this is a very open-ended question for our royalty of guests at the moment. If you were the president and you had one executive order you would sign, what would it be? It's kind of tricky.
Who's the question for? Our guest? Okay, because I have an answer.
Well, I guess everybody.
It's for them.
Whatever.
Rico. Walt, you start. Walt's on you.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't hear that part because I'm multitasking.
You got it, brother. You can handle it. Yeah. I mean, if we're gonna be like, fantasy of me being able to have that power and executive order, then I guess the place I'd want to get to and everybody get access to would be the Vatican Library.
Indeed.
Yeah.
That would be the typical answer now, but
Are you sure about that though? Do
How
you
much-
remember when they
how much
just
power
opened up that
would-
door?
Wait, which was it?
The Vatican Library. Like, are you sure about you want access to that? Because you remember when they opened up that door, like on Christmas Day or New Year's Eve,
Oh,
or whatever
no
shit
shit.
it was,
Oh, yeah.
and the Pope
Oh,
looked
yeah.
completely crazy, and then he died and looked like a mannequin in his casket with a
Oh,
whole bunch
yeah.
of people dressed like Jokers, and then
Right.
now there's the new Pope Leo.
And the satanic march they did.
Yes,
It was all so weird.
I know, and I grew up Catholic. It's weird.
Sorry, Walt, continue.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. I mean, there's nut stuff with the Vatican all the way around. There's been crazy footage over the years that one of the, it's like 2 or 3 popes ago. I think it was the Pope that looked like the Star Wars guy. Which one was he? Anyway, he was at the window and there was some girl next to him and she looked like she was like possessed and speaking in tongues and shit. Like, yeah, there's been so many crazy things over the years, but
Or
whatever they're hiding away,
the Pope
in those-
disappearing. The Pope
Right.
disappearing.
There's definitely stuff that's hidden away there. That's knowledge. I mean, it's been said over and over and over, and we don't have enough time to get into it. But I have a friend who has done some esoteric journeys and has wound up quite a few times there trying to find those hidden tombs while he was being chased by whatever you want to call them. And yeah, we'll talk about that sometime. Y'all come on our show.
Hey, we don't have to quit at 8 if you want to talk about it. Because I'm fascinated when I found out like J.R.R. Tolkien's son said that he got unlimited access to the Vatican Library and came out and wrote Lord of the Rings, which that rabbit hole's super.
I'm calling
he
bullshit
always
on that.
said that was more truth and history.
No,
than
actually, you
anything
could
was
back
in a
that up.
textbook.
Like, there's a whole book about it.
I mean, who do you?
Yes, I also agree with what Rico just said. Yeah, we don't have to have like a hard end, a hard stop point. I like live, long streams. But,
Well, I like 8 o'clock stops, but also like not worrying. Like when it's 8, I'm like, cool. If the show falls apart, we did it. But yeah, we can go another hour as far as I'm concerned.
But it's 9 o'clock.
Oh,
different based on where you're at.
Wait, are we in a different time zone? We've been in so many different time zones. Sorry. I'm not sure what time zone.
I think we're in East Coast right now.
I thought so too, but
Yeah.
apparently we're not because. Oh,
yeah,
wait, maybe we are.
when I'm booking Sombrero
Never
shows, I've got 3 time zones I have to deal with just with the people that are hosts, and then our guest, and it can get kind of gnarly to put together
Yeah.
when you're dealing with 4 time zones. But anyway, Josh, you want to chime in on that the same aside? The same question for Andrew's question. Are you there?
Yeah,
Oh.
just positing if you were. Yeah.
He may be
yeah.
frozen. Oh no,
Uh-oh.
have we lost Josh?
No, he just really likes the way he looks when he sits like that, and he thought, "Hey, I want to."
Well, at first I thought he was just being still, but I also have quite a history with Josh suddenly losing internet.
Have you
He's
guys
got
seen
that
that?
beard of truth going on right now. That's
He may have dropped. Is there like I don't know on here? Is there an indicate? There he goes.
Yeah, we'll get him back in a
Yeah.
second.
oh shoot.
He'll pop back in when he can. Yeah, I was afraid when he
There we
didn't
go.
move that might
There
be
he
the
is.
case.
Oh, could you hear us that whole time?
No, part of it though.
We weren't talking bad about you, really, really bad about you the whole time.
Wouldn't bother me a bit.
It was quite.
I bet it actually wouldn't. I like that about you.
That's a good thing.
We were wanting your answer to Andrew's question.
Sure. Yeah, and I've actually given it some thought.
Okay.
And inspired, I think, by Sinatra's Riders, I would want like an oatmeal cream pie on every horizontal surface of the Oval Office.
Wait, hold on. You said, did you just say inspired by Sinatra's Tigers?
His Riders.
His tour rider.
Oh,
Get a-
okay. I thought you said
The
tigers.
list of
and
stuff
I was
you
like,
want
Sinatra had
backstage.
tigers? Like, what?
We used to have boxers and white T-shirts on our tour riders, so we didn't have to do laundry as often.
And really, that's not a very serious answer. I think the more serious answer would be whatever it takes for me to be able to smoke weed in the White House without having like Secret Service and the Senate and everybody all up my ass about it. Whatever it's going to take so that I can just smoke weed and be president, that's the fucking executive order I'm going to write.
Well, Obama's White House, you could do coke, right?
No,
No, that
I
was,
feel like that was Biden.
That was Biden. His
Yeah.
son. What's his fucking
I feel
name?
No, that's right.
Hunter.
Right. That was Hunter. Yeah.
Well,
there
you
you go,
know,
Hunter Biden. Yeah.
well, hold on.
But
You're
which
all-
Biden?
Just
Uncle
make friends with
Biden,
Don
Papa
Jr.
Biden,
Just make
or
friends
the
with Don
mask?
Jr.
Oh,
Which
it
one
was
is
that
Biden?
it was that pop couple that got it on in the White House under Obama is what I'm thinking about. Remember, like some hip hop or R&B couple.
Was it like,
You know what I'm talking about? They were talking about what's the
Oh,
weirdest
wait,
place
no,
you've
what the
done
hell
it,
is her name?
and they said the Oval Office.
no, it wasn't Monica. It was what? John Legend and
John. Yep.
what is his wife's name?
I don't know, but she's got conspiracies about her too.
Oh, big time. John
Well,
Legend.
I was asking the question because an executive order is not necessarily always going to be permanent because the next
Thou
president can
shalt
come in.
hereby be able to snort cocaine and booger sugar on the White House desk from now on to the rest
All
of the world.
right.
Yes.
Okay.
Mine was so much more like level-headed and not exciting. Chrissy Teigen, Billington guy.
Trixie Teigen, that's it.
My answer was so much more simple than that. Yeah, Chrissy Teigen. She's a messed up one.
I'm only asking the question because it's so open-ended and it's sort of like a sociology type of a test for figuring out where people's minds are at.
How so?
Because if you had one presidential executive order you were allowed to sign and force it, what would it be?
I would make everybody be kind to each other,
It can't do
including
that.
themselves. Including themselves. I would be like, now it is an executive order that you are not allowed to be mean to yourself, and therefore you shall not be mean to
That's a
everybody else.
morality test, not like necessarily a sociology. And-
Mine's kind of hard
What?
to say in one sentence, but mine would be the executive order is like, all right, let's use president, but all politicians in this case, but we're going to use the president. He makes however much money presidents make. But after the 4 years, if he just does one term, he also makes that amount every year for the rest of his life. He's never allowed to do any trading or make any other kind of money other than that for the rest of his life once he's the president. And that's all politicians. That would stop all the insider trading, the selling out, the power hungry, the Haiti, what the Clintons did with the the Haitian relief fund, like that would put an end to so much corruption if they made it where they couldn't do any kind of Wall Street trading, or that would also make a lobbyist become not a thing, because they wouldn't care because they're not going to make any kickback.
That's really good.
Oh, outlaw
Interesting.
lobbyists.
Well, they wouldn't be able to do anything because they wouldn't have anything to offer in financial gain or anything. Like if but by the way, someone smart would have to write what I'm trying to say. But I think Andrew gets what I'm going for here.
Yes, I fully comprehend it. And if anyone's ever curious, because I've had some people ask me about this in the past, and I would shut down immigration in the United States for 10 years, all immigration, and get shit figured out. And then after that, that's me. That's what I would do.
I would put 501c3s on hold. I would put churches, paying taxes on hold. I would put 501c3s on hold.
Those are some of the worst churches too.
The 501c3.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, if you only had one executive order,
I stand by mine. I stand by mine. That would be what I would want to change. But all politicians.
I'm actually kind of curious what chat is saying. I'm sorry. I apologize to everyone in chat.
Can I make an executive order for more executive orders?
You find a genie.
We always forget to shout out the chat too. Like we should shout out the chat to everyone.
That's a good idea.
Tano, executive order to outlaw APAC. Yes, 100% agree. Outlaw APAC for sure. 100%.
Have you guys seen that list of like all the past recent presidents and how many people they deported because they were illegal compared to Trump's, and how much smaller Trump's is, and they're mad at him? Yeah, like no, if the list I saw was real, then man, these protesters, they really have no idea. They just listen to whatever their favorite movie star tells them and that's what they believe.
Did you hear about the new prison that has been surrounded with a moat of alligators and pythons in the Everglades, which is where they're sending all? And apparently it was built in like literally 48 hours. And I was like, how do you build like an Alcatraz in 48 hours and then surround it with alligators? Like, they had to be building that for years.
Well, they're calling it alligator Alcatraz, which, by the way,
Alcatraz.
The first Suicide Squad movie. That's where they're keeping all the bad guys whenever they recruit them to be like superheroes. They're
my god! And then people don't think that we're living in a movie. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, really.
Yeah. Well, look at the new Top Gun. It was 3 stealth fighters that went in to do an impossible mission to hit targets, just like what we just did. And that was in iPad Goat 2 also. It had the 3 stealth fighters.
Wait, so Tom Hanks?
Good thing we have guests on here and we're just talking.
So Tom Hanks was one of the B-52 bombers that bombed Iran recently?
What?
What are you talking about?
You can't handle that kind of comment on Strong
You
Acid.
can't handle the truth.
He did, but he did it wearing one red shoe.
I said you couldn't handle that kind of comment on Strong Acid, Nico.
No. Well, I just repeated a few good men's.
Yeah.
You can't handle the truth, Rico.
No,
I just said there were those B-52 bombers. I don't even know if that's true or not. Did they really blow up Iran? I don't even want to talk about all this war stuff. I just don't. But I swear Tom Cruise probably was there.
What are you talking about?
Tom Cruise is one of the B-52 fighters who was filming for the new Mission Impossible.
Oh, okay.
Condensation.
Yeah. What? Like, it's so weird.
All right, it's 8:04. I hear you, Alex.
Not for nothing.
By the way, you guys going on tour like you did, it's caused us all to step up our game and take some. I mean, believe me, I want my lead singer or my front man back as far as the show goes. But I really liked it. It's kind of pushed us to get to know the system better, to where so much isn't on you.
There is something I want to say, like the ultimate thing this summer, our ultimate plan was to go out and see as many people as we wanted to see, especially in our little thing that we have, and we got to see everybody we wanted to see. We hit all our marks, and now we're back on stable ground. And
Oh wait, was I not here that night? That's weird.
we what we basically did was we wanted to make sure that we let everybody know that this is a labor of love. This thing we do, this tinfoil sombrero is a labor of love. Flat Atlanta was a labor of love. It didn't work out. The esoterica is a labor of love. I want this to work out. It's an important thing is to actually get out and actually get everybody in real life and talk to them, not through screens, but actually see them in real life. And we got to see everybody we wanted to see, and we're getting to more stabilization now after the event in Louisville. And really what it is like we love everybody in this thing, even if we disagree. There's so many disagreements in this community. It's fascinating, but it's a really important thing that we're doing. And Josh and Walt, you guys are killing it. I'm sorry that I don't get up that early, guys. I'm sorry I haven't come on your show at 6
Not many-
a.m. It's kind of opposite my schedule, but you guys do really important work, and that goes for a lot of people that are listening tonight and a lot of people in the chat. And most of this is just proactive work and getting out and doing it and saying what you say. We're you call it preaching if you want to, but it's really just this is a labor of love. I always thought of it as an obligation. I had a plenty good musical life in New York City, and I still have a good musical life. Now Nico and I are out wondering about the spaces, seeing people out in real life. But that's what's really important. And I think as we move forward, the most important thing is, and Karen did a lot of work in this too, was get out and see people and meet them face to face and say, hey, oh yeah, you're really here. You're not a nameless bot on a chat. You're not a nameless person who's harassing people. You're actually real. You guys are real, and you've dedicated yourself to it. And even Rico said, look, I don't know how Tinfoil Sombrero is going to work, but no matter what, it needs to keep going every week, even if we have to stretch out our boundaries and make it work however we can. I mean, I can't believe we've still managed to do this show through the last 3 months. But there's a lot of love in this community, and a lot of people that love getting out there and doing stuff and making sure that we're looking after each other, because we're not a big group here.
No,
we're
not at all.
we're the front end of the rebellion. I had a good time talking. Can't remember who I was talking to. I was because I was I was a Star Wars kid, right? And I was talking to friend of Karen's and Ted's. We were at Cammy's. Sorry, but I was like, the metaphor of Andor, the new writing in Star Wars, was it helps you forget that there's even lightsabers or spaceships. Is that there's a rebellion occurring, and it's not a hot war, it's an intellectual war, and we are kind of the rebellion in that. And I know that's kind of a stretch for a lot of people, but it kind of is what it is. We're a small group that is a big, large group, and a lot of people that will not talk about it, a lot of people that are in the closet. We're the ones out there talking about it, and these events are the hot war in the intellectual war that we're doing. And I think it's really important to remember that, showing your face out there and doing the things that we do every week, week in, week out, events, everything else, it's really super important. And at the end of the day, I said 10 years, maybe, I hope it's sooner, but it will be appreciated. And it was us that were out there. We were out there tilling the soil, as it were, for FE 2.0, and appreciate it, because the heavy lifting has been done. The heavy lifting has been done, and now it's for the ripples to affect everybody else out there. We look at TikTok, we look at Facebook, we look at Instagram. There's a ton of people that I have never even met, never even seen, that are now suddenly kind of preaching some stuff. And they're
Sorry,
go ahead.
Well, I was going to be brief on this because I want to talk more behind the scenes. But one thing I was hoping to get out of your solo sombrero was, when you go to festivals and meetups, while you're out there, go live and do one of yours there. And then that led me to think about my idea of putting together meetups in a straight line on tour and living off of tips and merchandise and doing a, name it whatever, and just setting up meetups and doing like indie shows and reaching out to people that don't have a voice that way, or that haven't found a chat like ours, or Ironworks or Iron Realm. Because I think there's a lot of people out there that are kind of just living life alone. I mean, they have friends, but they can't talk about what they want to talk about,
Yeah, yeah. And I would say what I would say to that is like, I think it's already to the point, the tipping point is like right here. There's a bunch of us that have already put our faces on it. And if that one little 100th monkey happens, I said 10 years. I hope it's sooner than that. I really do. But I don't care at this point in time, because the rest of us did the damn work. And now it's just consistency, staying out there and talking about it. I'm super glad that we might have another little thing here on the East Coast. I'm super glad about that. And, I learned a lot of lessons about, the Flatlanta thing. Learned a lot of lessons about that, and that there were people that have done these events in the past, and venues that say they want to have it and then they don't. So I was rescued by a lot of people for Flatlanta, at least as far as us putting it out there, that we didn't Shanghai a bunch of people with tickets and airline stuff way early. We got ahead of that really quick. Big thanks to people like that, because I'm an emotional guy. Like, once I have an event, I want to make it happen, right? And we pulled the strings back on that real fast, and we're gonna have we'll look at this esoterica thing, and we're gonna see like let's see what happens here, because it's a really, really valuable thing to get out and meet people, be in front of people, and actually meet them in real life, as opposed to like I go through this whole thing. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't know how many of these people are bots in the chats. I have no idea how many of these people are just assholes. And I can usually call them out all the time. I'm like, dude, I haven't seen your face, and you've been talking to me on chats for 5 years. And I usually get the same answer. It's like, well, I got kids, and I get, no, you either say it or you don't.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I didn't recognize Nemo because he was the guy I ended up getting to be like my drum tech, because I played on unlevel ground behind you guys, And I was like, I don't know who you are. He's like, Rico, listen
Is
to
he
my
mowing
voice.
the lawn right now?
Yeah, he just said in chat he was going
He's
to.
literally
Hey,
mowing the
remind me
lawn
to talk
right
to you about the touring meetup thing, because I was talking, I think maybe Josh from Founded Earth Brothers. And I don't mean like a month-long tour. I mean like hero weekends, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, come home. But either way, I'll talk to you about it. It would financially work out, and we'd reach out to people, and we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we'll make it another time. Nathan's out mowing around the studio.
I hear him. And Walt, I need to talk to you too. You'll be on the next episode. It looks like
one thing I want to tell
Josh
you
is doing his math
guys
homework
before we go. You guys have been doing this show. Y'all have been like pulling it together. You are making it your own thing. I know you say that we inspired you. That makes my heart glow to even think we might have, man, because that's really all this has been about, is planting seeds. So, but something that doesn't come across sometimes when you sit and do these shows is we're all in this YouTube-y post, do content, sit and chat and talk to each other and get to know each other and turn it into a family thing, which is, to me, the greatest part of this. One thing that a lot of people miss until you go to a few meetups and get a view of the bigger community out there, there's a lot of people who do watch your show that aren't sitting in chat. They don't even have a YouTube account. They don't even know how to do that. I watched the first year probably of YouTube content, not even knowing what a chat was, that I could have an account. I'm just watching, music and YouTube video or UFO videos on YouTube, and I'm not even signed in. So there's a whole lot of people out there. You'd be surprised. Down the street, literally. I went to a store about 2 months ago, went in, did stuff, got to the counter, and the guy was like, "Hey, Walt, Iron Realm Media." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I've been watching y'all for like years now." Turns out he went to school with my daughter, and he found us that way, and he's been watching us ever since. Never got in chat, never said hey, but he watches every day, every morning. So yeah, they're out there, man. They definitely are out there.
I've made some of the best friends ever since finding this whole group of people. I mean, whenever I say, there's a reason why I brought up being contacted by someone going, can we still be friends now that I'm, on Jaren's team, is because some of these people, like the fact that, wow, like, because it's been over a decade for me. Some of these people are going to just be like easy come, easy go. I think I called, maybe was it you, Alex? I called about someone very specific. No, it was Andrew. And you know exactly who I'm talking about. Me and him were super close. Like we were mailing each other, survival stuff, and he changed his mind, and there was no argument about it. I didn't put him down about it. He was just like, I don't want to talk to you anymore because you don't believe what I have come to believe. Which is crazy, man. Like, what? It's just no way to be.
Yeah, it's a very unfortunate situation when someone comes into a new belief system or trying to exit a belief system. That's the cognitive dissonance type of an aspect, which is highly psychological. So it's not everyone's going to react the same exact way. And it doesn't even matter what it is. It can be religion, flat earth, it can be any cosmology or just like engineering, physics, things like that. People, they revolt. It's a natural thing.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
I think I do.
I'll give you a hint. The very beginning of this episode.
Oh, now I'm confused.
All right, don't worry about it. We'll talk about it after off air.
Sure.
Is he coming back? I was wanting to say goodbye to you guys and tell you I'll see you in the morning, but
it's possible his internet has
he did freeze
again.
up. He did freeze up.
Let me go see. He may have sent me a text. Let me go see.
Well,
oh yeah, he's like, yeah, the internet's down. He can't get it back up. I must have used all my internets. So yeah.
Yeah, I just got
all of his internets.
Well, I've been talking to Josh and Walt for days, and we couldn't come up with any theme or outline for them coming on. So we kind of expected, like we were kind of hoping it would come like this, different things to come up and weave in and
Absolutely.
out of. So it's not like we let them down. They didn't have. It's not like letting Watson down. Like he wrote a book. By the way, he wants a part 3. We're going to do all 3 whiskey beer conspiracies. Rose is coming on.
Nice.
We need to do a Doc Michael part 2. There's a lot of stuff I need to talk to you guys about, but all the things by themselves are so small. I don't want to call you guys when you're driving down the interstate. But if you called me and I had my journal in my hand, I'd be like, here's a bunch of things that's kind of bouncing around. So there's a lot bouncing around right now.
Well, here's another little thing. Just throwing it out there. For like years, we did a Wednesday pre-show, is what we called it. So on Wednesday at a certain time, we hit, early on, it was an issue that 2 of our people were in England or in, the UK. One was in Australia, and Josh and I were in North America, and the other guy in Canada. So we're all in North America. Trying to figure out the right time to do shows, to do get-togethers, to figure out what we're doing. And like early on, we had a couple of shows where we just invited people on, and it wasn't as good as you wanted it to be. And so we thought, well, let's get them on maybe a day early, work out sound issues, kind of let the ice get broken there, so that when we hit the show Friday, there'll be a more comfortable atmosphere and the conversation may flow better. Problem with that became some of those Wednesday not recorded things became the best conversation we've ever had with these people. And then on Friday, when we got to the show, it was kind of like, well, you can't really go back in time and make all that fresh. Oh, wow, that too. And, all that happened again. So yeah, it's such a double-edged fine line, coin to flip on how to do this thing and make it organic or make it planned or make it planned and make it seem organic. It's hard. That's why we've kind of just fallen into, like Josh said earlier, we roll out of bed at 3 a.m, shove some coffee in our eyeballs and just see what happens. And sometimes it's gold and sometimes it's gold dirt turds. So you never know,
Yeah.
And it's always fun, and it's always a family gathering, and that's really the part we do. I mean, it's truly become, a support system for all of us, everyone that does the show, everyone that's in the chat, the new people that come and show up, the people who come on and hang out with us, Andrew, Rico. And I was going to say that to you and Nico there, Lowry. Y'all are welcome to come on. I know it's early for you, but on some of those late nights when you're just about to go to bed at 4 a.m, y'all are welcome to pop in, man. For damn sure.
I've actually thought about that. I was like, what if I stay up just late enough to like pipe in?
That's usually what it is for Andrew, is the end of his night. So it's been quite a few episodes.
Same here. There's been.
down.
I'll be trying to fall asleep on valerian root tea and go, should I drink this tea? What time is it? Oh, it's 3:20. Well, they're going live in 40 minutes. Screw it.
Yeah, it's my problem too. It's almost like I need my little heroin addiction or something.
And that's my Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for like the past almost over 3 years. I mean,
awesome.
I'm ripping you guys off because I really enjoy your show, but also I spend a minimum of 6 hours a week with you guys. Like, how am I not going to pick up on things that are working out for you guys?
There you go.
It's a unique thing for myself because
making it your own. So that's awesome.
I work until 11, basically 11 to 11:30 at night when I get home. So and then I start work at noon-ish. So yeah, it's a little unique for me, but I do 12-hour shifts, so I can join in as often as I possibly can. But then after that,
Andrew's always lecturing me. You're still on the show again, and I'm like, fuck, I am, aren't I? I didn't mean to.
I didn't lecture you. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, you were like, well, no, you didn't lecture me. You lectured us. You're like, we need to stop going in still in your show, or you said something like that.
Dude, that's not even a point of contention. As I said, you guys are part of the family, and
you told me that.
Great. Well, it's true. If it wasn't true, we had already reined your asses in.
That's true.
Mr. T's over here, like, in 3 hours, I'm gonna tell you guys whatever.
Well, Walt's got that whip, that verbal digital whip.
Hey, there was something I wanted to bring up. I wanted to bring up tonight was my love letter to Effie. Night Movies at Beach 97 is coming out on August 1st. It was supposed to come out pre 2020, and then that thing happened. So it's I don't sing songs like Alex Michael. Like, I kind of blended into the poetry, but it's a very flat earth record. It's going to be coming out on August 1st. Rico, I sent you a link for an outro for the show. It was just me doing a cover song, but I want to let everybody know that that's going to happen on August 1st.
Hey, 2025. Where'd you send it?
To your texter. I just did a cover just to run it out tonight. But what I wanted to say,
I don't see it on the text thread. I don't see it.
You want me to put it in?
Put it in private chat. Can you do it there?
Probably.
Just text it directly to him.
No, I'm just going to send it.
Throw it in the Sombrero.
I'm sending it to Andrew, and Andrew knows what to do.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Okay.
All right. My internet might be like everyone on here.
If you send it to me in a text, just put it in the side chat.
I already sent it to you. But what I wanted to say was, it's going to be a very, very good summer for everybody out there. There's a lot of different things coming together at once. And it sounds weird right now, and it's awkward, and there's a lot of people acting like fools, out there. But being based isn't that hard. It's truth is easier than lying. And that's kind of like what this broadcast is about. I'd rather
truth is easier than lying. Truth is the
easiest way to go.
It's better than fiction.
I mean, fiction's fun, but truth is easy.
Man,
Fiction's,
Are you serious? Truth is easy. Have you ever tried to tell somebody the truth and they didn't believe you?
yeah, that's why it's
Oh,
so
yeah.
easy.
It happens all
Why
the
is
time.
that easy? That's the hardest thing ever.
Oh, but Jamaican doctor's still convinced I was nodding off because I'm
Speaking
looking
truth
down at my
might be
phone.
easy, but sometimes living that truth is.
By the
You know
way,
what?
Chad, I want you to know
Right.
that post
Crazy.
my major surgery I just went through, I was there for like 8 hours. I'm riding my bike and skateboarding again officially. So like I'm actually able to do
That's
stuff.
awesome, man.
So
Carry a
you're
knife.
saying you're taking it
Actually,
easy.
save that. That song's too sad. Hold on. Don't do that song, Andrew. Hold
All
on.
right. Well, you sent it to me. I mean,
Whoa.
all right.
Hold on. I will. Hold on. But what I'm saying is, new record, August 1st. It was very influenced by FE. I was going through like the late stages of denial. I was still in it the whole time, but I don't write songs like Alex Michael. I write poetically. But one of the songs on it is Mars. That's the song that's on Sarge's show. This record was supposed to come out in 2020, full of flat Earth references.
Well,
Though
you
not on the nose.
sorry.
And also, if you guys are not aware of this, Alex does not ever wear pants, even when he's recording. So
This is true, actually.
You guys also have to.
He wears
after that, you're going to hear.
Speedos, you guys. He
I
wears
was actually being
Speedos.
sarcastic, but all right, I didn't know
Oh,
that.
no.
Would you?
After
If he
Alex is
stood up, he would have a Speedo on. He really likes his Speedos.
Would you like to? Would you like to? I'm going to do something fun for everybody. That everybody knows the song Mars. It goes on after Sarge's show. I'm going to send a link, Andrew, to you, which is like this whole basically how the song got written, and it goes through an acoustic version, then it goes to the rock version, and we can rock that out to the end.
Okay, well, if you don't send it to me pretty quick,
Well, hold on.
It's already there. It's already there.
After your song, Alex, I'm going to play one of my old songs too. So
Sure.
And then I will hit in stream after that one.
Can I say something about this song?
Absolutely.
So I went traveling in Germany, and Alex happened to be on tour. And when he first was like playing this song live, which was back in 2019, it was before the album. Wasn't it before the album even like was released?
The album still isn't released.
Well, it's still not released. Everything got messed up. But I always thought that Mars is closed.
Like closed as in
Like as
after
in
hours.
like I am after hours, turning over the closed sign, that kind of thing. So I was like, wait a second. And I didn't learn until recently that the lyrics are Mars is close.
Close, as in
and I was
close.
like,
Yeah. Well, that's why I told you what I thought it was based on in the book, right? I told you what I thought it was about, right? The book,
No.
Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus.
There's some of that in there too. There actually is. There's a lot of love affair in there.
I
actually.
knew it. I knew I could pick up on that vibe.
Yeah. It was mostly my anger about that song is about the anger that I had for Richard Hoagland, who wasted 2 years of my life talking about objects on Mars, and it was all bullshit. And that was
I did
my anger
too.
treatment. It was my anger treatment.
Planet
Dude, I
Nine.
was so deep on Hoagland, dude. Oh
Do you,
my God, Alex.
Jesus
you don't
Christ.
even
Walt,
know.
Walt, do you want
Like,
to take a? Go ahead, Walt. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, dude. I was just gonna say I
No.
got so deep. I had the book that he and the 3D video guy that made the images of the Sedona area for him, all that guy. And they put a book out, and it was so deep, and it was so logical. And I'm like, well, yeah, that makes sense, And then I got a video at one of those UFO conventions of his, and he was talking about all these crystal domes that they had images of that were from the moon shots and shit, and it just got so deep, and it just kind of, it went so deep. It was so nuts. Yeah, Hoagland wasted a lot of my time too. I'm there with you.
Well, Walt, I'm glad that I'm not the only one that went through this bullshit. And I'm kind of like, I wanted to give this to everybody, like how the song came together, and the rest of the record it's a Flat Earth record, and it's coming out August 1st. And it starts with an acoustic version, then it goes to the actual full production mode. Walt, do you want to take us out with anything before we get to this? Just you want to say something?
Again, thank y'all for hanging out with us. If you're here, if somehow in the chat or watching and don't know, we're Iron Rail Media on YouTube. We're post stuff there all the time. We do a morning show Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 4 a.m. Central here in the U.S. Work out that time for your own area. We had for years, in fact, we started doing our afternoon Friday show on YouTube called Have No Sphere way before we started doing the Ironworks show. I don't know, there's a weird noise. I apologize. But definitely the Friday show is coming back. We just had to kind of take a little time off. We never took time off. Like literally, we went probably 4 years stretch with no time off. And so my health kind of got a little weird. And so, yeah. Oh, we missed it too. We did a little catch up maybe 2 Fridays ago or last Friday. And we plan on doing it again and getting the guest thing going again. We just like everybody kind of had stuff happening, you know, because Cammy and Zach do their stuff on Glowbusters as well.
Right.
And then, you know, we just all have busy lives and health things came up. We'll talk about that another time. We don't have nearly the time for all that. So, but yeah.
Oh, in chat, Walt's going to be on the very first solo Sombrero too, here in about a week and a half.
Oh, yeah. And I'm excited for that. So you just let me know, my friend, and I'll be ready.
I'll start a text thread as soon as I get Chrome on the freaking phone. That's all I got for tonight. You're on mute, Lowry, but that's all I got for tonight.
Oh yeah,
Where did Josh
Walt,
go? Did he
Josh
just,
got frozen up in the internet. He got frozen.
Yeah, he told me his internet's just gone. He said he hopes he has it back in the morning.
There's a superpower in that.
Anyway, Walt, we love you and thank you for coming on to our show. And we're definitely going to have you back. And everybody out there in FE land, we love the shit out of you. And it continues to be an adventure. It is what it is.
Hey, great show, guys. Great show.
Yeah, and thank you guys all. And we will talk to you guys next Sunday at 7 p.m. Mwah, 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 mwah.
Wait a second. Can I talk over your song and shout out to the chat?
Probably not. Sure, you can. Yeah, talk over.
It's going to be on full blast volume.
Parts of it, right?
What's that?
The volume's going to be on full blast. Everyone.
Here, I'll just highlight everybody. We got to go.
Yeah.
Cool. Cheers.
All right. Mwah.
Love you guys. Love you, chat.
Love you.
Hey, that wasn't bad considering we didn't have any topics.
Day 31. Start with your record.
This was day 31 in the 2020 event.
Aww.
Music Beach 97.
Look, there's your guitar that got stolen in the U-Haul.
Happy Sunday. Live from Cheryl's. Sessions.
Are we still live?
Thanks for coming on, Kami.
So we say down what we gonna do. All I know we do.
You want this to be big? Here. Here. You want this?
I just want that to be big.
Well, here. Here. Here.
No, hold on. Watch.
You can't do it in Streamer.
Just did it.
That's really fun.
It's so hard not to air drum.
It's slow. I swear he always had clothes.
As it's ever been. And I'm so tired of being on the ropes again.
So this is probably the most popular song from anybody in our little Truth or Music community. If I had to say.
This was day 31 of Alex playing this song with just like an amp at his ex-girlfriend's place.
That's a lonely boy standing in the room. Solo game musical
Mars is closed.
You say Mars is closed.
Maybe it's cloaked.
Clothed. It went to Walmart and got some underwear. Mars has closed.
Clothed? Cloaked? What about cloaked?
Mars got dressed.
I thought Mars was closed. Like closed. Like it's like you can't go there. It's closed. Like Mars is closed. No business. Come again. Thank you. Come again at 8 a.m. But what if it was really cloaked? It was cloaked, like CLOAKED.
Love so many nights, so many nights, so many ways to bleed.
What I'm gonna play is from my little independent punk rock band, because what Josh is gonna from Iron Realm is gonna make for my intro for my solo Sombrero is gonna have this music behind it. Hopefully you guys pick up on the irony of me using a song with lyrics like these.
Hey, Rico, we're going to have to talk about intellectual property, because if you want to use Lowry's fucking music, like, you have to go through me.
Actually, I always ask Lowry before I use his stuff. I know you're making a joke, but you can ask Lowry. I always ask him if I could
No,
use
I was just being a dick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't remember, we're not getting when the 3 men stand by.
Well, what is strange world?
Monetize. I
What
get
is-
so many emails.
Oh, Jesus
They're like-
Christ. What is strange world of Lowry at this point? Oh, here we go. Oh, no.
So we say we
Oh, you're gonna play this one too?
No, it's the same. It's the same video.
Okay.
It's like
Okay.
so.
let
That
me.
was the acoustic version, and this is the full production version.
That's what I'm asking. Are we gonna listen to the full production before I play mine?
Basically, you have to listen to Lowry again.
It's no problem. I just want to know what to do. I don't care.
Plus, this is double bucks out of your pocket, Rico.
It's gonna be like 3 more times that we have to listen to Lowry.
As long as it's the same exact song. Oh, we opened and closed with Lowry.
As it's ever been.
Lowry, that still warms my heart to see that edit that you made for my family.
Rico, your video is as close as it's ever been.
The ropes again.
Almost broke dude's drums riding on the rim right there. Oh, they can't see me air drumming, can they? It's fine.
That's the lovely girl standing on the moon. Wishing she had a breath of air. That's the lonely boy standing in the room. Solo game musical chair.
Thank you to everybody in the chat, including Dr. Bass and Boston Ray and 7-Eleven Lucas and
Hey, Doc's gonna be
Sound Video, Karen B, obviously, Dr. Bass backwards.
Doc's gonna be on. Hey, Nico.
Fat Earth Head, what?
Doc and Ray are gonna be on the episode with Lowry and Crumb and Walt and myself on the second half.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much in advance to Dr. and Ray and everybody who's going to be on that panel for Rico's Hurricane Solo Sombrero. And thank you to Cammie, and thank you to Walt and to Josh. Filling Tano.
Wow, you said that so backwards, I'm still trying to work it out.
I was just reading Dr. Bass backwards, and I was trying to, yeah, Epi Nation in the house. Yo, Mojo, NDB #1 fan.
What you have,
To everybody who is lurking,
what you'll ever need.
including fucking what's his face,
This life's so
Duffy.
many
Duffy,
nights,
thank you so much
so
for
many
listening, you
nights,
lurking motherfucker.
so many ways to breathe.
You know what? Question the answers. I want to talk to you. And
Chelsea
Chillster
what?
Deluxe, I think you guys
Finding
should talk to
Bigfoot.
each other. Oh my gosh, Ted, thank you for the chainsaws and alcohol and your cool little Japanese truck. And I actually saw a little Japanese truck that drove around the corner today, and I thought it was you, but it wasn't. Ted's probably sleeping.
Sorry,
Andrew B,
Hey,
thank you to Fathead.
I'm gonna go ahead and say goodnight, guys. Doc, I will call you after this song. I'll hit end stream. Thank you, everybody, for all your hard work. We did great. Oh, we do need to have a Skype meeting because DJ needs to tell me, wants me to talk to you guys about some stuff.
Yeah, but Skype doesn't exist anymore. It's Teams. now.
That's what I meant. All right, here we go, guys. Have a good night. Don't
Bye.
don't feel like you have to stick around for this whole track.
It's already over.
I'm talking about mine.
okay. That was good stuff. What is this?
I like you better when you're drunk.
Like 2006.
Because you like me better when you're drunk.
Oh, this is the Rico.
I remember me, the sweet guy that I used to be. Although that was so long ago last night, I still looking, thinking, at the same, but something has changed. So tonight I'm gonna do it right. I know I look much better when she's triple yourself flowing through your blood. I will never wanna be the thing you wanna be. We like this better, so let's just stay hammered. Let's waste our days and nights getting wasted. I've heard of life without liquor. Sounds no fun. I like you better when you're.
Rico, you used to look like Eminem a lot.
We were Beach Boys ripoffs.
All right, I've got a serious question for you.
I can't hear you. Hold on.
We like this better, so let's just stay hammered. Let's waste our days and nights getting wasted. I've heard of life without liquor. Sounds no fun. I like you better when Drink, let's have one more drink. A shot on the rocks, drink it straight from the bottle. One more drink, I know you like it neat. Chase it down with me. Drink, let's have one more drink. A shot on the rocks, drink it straight from the bottle. One more drink, I know you like it neat. You can chase it down with me. Whoa. like you better when you're drunk. Because you like me better when you're drunk.
Woo!
There you go, people. Love you guys. We'll see you next Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern for the Sombrero. Mwah! Many kisses.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Love you. Love you,
Cheers.
Nate. Love you, chat.